Yo, Bucket, what's going on, man? What is up? What is up? How you doing, buddy? Optimal cutscene skipping. We did it. Yo, Ginger Gamer Guy, what's up, dude? How are you doing? As far as how I am today, actually pretty solid. I'm gonna say pretty solid, like around a solid like 7.5 out of 10. Solid like 7.5. I would say. Had a little bit of a late night last night, but it was worth. Definitely had a good time. No, I understand, Bucket. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling pretty good overall. Feeling pretty good overall. Sweet, there we go. That's better. Today's one of those days where it might take me like an hour or so to warm up. There's some days where I'm like awake and ready to go like basically right away. And today is one of those days where I'm fine, you know, like I'm definitely feeling pretty good, but just, you know, something's not quite right, you know, or I'm just missing a little bit of gas here, but it's all good. Yo, Cammy, what's happening? How are you doing? All right, there we go. Cool. Pretty much nailed that. Pretty much nailed the waiting game there. Doing well, just making dinner? I'd be doing pretty well if I have food in my near future as well. How, excuse me, rather, what is for dinner tonight, if you don't mind me asking? Yo, I agree, Crash. I agree. That was hard. What's up, Cole Chris? And what's up, Crash SSBM? How are you guys doing today? As far as how I'm doing pretty well. Today's just might be one of those days where I need to drink my whole coffee before I start feeling woke, so to speak. But life is good. Definitely had a really good day yesterday. Really solid day yesterday after the stream, and now I'm ready to do it all over again, honestly. We have 8 seconds until we basically have 8 seconds that we need to save on this run. Actually 9 seconds to beat the world record. 8 seconds would only tie it, but we're really close, and that's pretty exciting, to be honest. Ooh, that's not good. There we go. There definitely are worse things that can happen. Huh? What? Okay. So apparently that guy brick-walled me when I had invincibility. Like, I don't know what happened there, but I feel like that that like fly trap basically just totally blocked my way. That's what I think just happened. It's not like over or anything. It's just like that was very weird. Normally when I have third mass form, it's no question, I just go right through. So I don't really know what happened there. Yo, see you later. What's going on, dude? How you doing? I really don't know what happened there. But that's okay. This Crash 1 definitely was the weak part of my last full trilogy run. So presumably, if we can get some good cushion, you know, coming out of the Crash 1 run, if it's not perfect, then we're looking good going into Crash 2 and 3. Basically, just need to hold pace after that, and we'll be Gucci. What's up, Barto? How you doing, buddy? You're doing well and feeling lighter. Oh, did you just do a weight check real quick, and with some good news, I hope. Can I do any Crash levels with my eyes closed? Probably not to completion. I might be able to get over like a pit or two with my eyes closed, but that's definitely really, really hard to do. I think that when it comes to memorization of the Crash games, like, there's definitely a lot of muscle memory, but vision is very important too. Doing these blindfolded is really hard, and there's not a whole lot of visual cues, or sorry, audio cues rather, that will really help you that much. I think that's something very important for something that actually gets done blindfolded. So no, not at this point. I think it would be really hard to play this game blindfolded. Yo, what's going on, Bacon Lord? You are correct. I think we spent 2 hours playing Stormy Ascent yesterday. I got the gold relic, but we did not manage to get the platinum relic. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I'll probably lay off of the platinum relic grind for Stormy Ascent for a little while. Maybe I'll return to it later, but we'll see. We shall see indeed. How's it going, by the way? And what's up, Jacko? How are you doing as well? That's good though. You got some muscle mass as a part of that 179 that wasn't there before. Yo, Virtual, what's going on? Dude, I have two. We have whoops, there we go. I have 9 seconds to save on this run to get the record. Hopefully we save more than just 9 seconds, but we're like super close. So like almost any PB will get us there. Now that I've said that though, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna save 5 seconds. and still not get it, but that's okay. Seen a guy on YouTube that is blind and played through Abe's Exodus. I'm curious to know how he figured out the audio cues like that. I'm wondering, like, or how well he knows the game beforehand. Because if he knows the game really well and has, if he knows the game really well, then I could definitely see how you would do it, especially if you know the cues that you need. Yeah, technically you would lose a little bit of time, Crash, not a ton. Like it's not a huge deal if it does happen. Like in a Cold Hard Crash, for example, I'm not sure how to jump around the gem that's chilling waiting for you at the end of the death route, for example, but it ends up being fine. Because I think it's maybe like 2 seconds. My voice sounds deeper this morning. I think I'm speaking a little bit more with my chest today, so that could be why. It could also be that I'm like a little bit more tired this morning than I normally am, and your tonality changes because of that as well sometimes. But I think honestly I'm just talking more with my chest this morning. That's actually a good point. Like, can you even imagine, you know, especially if you've been blind your whole life, like, could you even imagine what a game would look like? You know, that is a good point. If he did have sight at one point, he probably could. But if he's been somebody who's, you know, blind his whole life, then I don't know. That's actually a really good question. Chess day. Not really a late night. Like, we got home at like 11:30, which is I'm normally asleep around like 11 or 11:30, and overall I would say I slept pretty well. Overall, I would say I slept pretty well. It's just sometimes you wake up and, you know, you have some mornings where you wake up and you're just like you're not hitting the ground running right after you wake up. Sometimes you just need to warm up and spend a little bit of time basically just getting psyched up for your day, you know. Other times you wake up and you're just like, all right, let's go. You know, it's really easy to do that. So today might be just one of those days where I'm like slower to warm up, but overall feeling very good. Yo, Khan, what's going on, dude? What's my bench? I have no clue today. Back in the day, I think my max was somewhere like the 220, 230 range, and then I would rep like 130, 140, something like that. I think so. Somewhere around those numbers. I don't remember what the exact numbers were. I don't think I have any workout journals from that time. But that was back when I was definitely more active with weightlifting. Nowadays, I have no clue what I would be able to put up. And yo, Bada, how's it going today? Maybe a little bit, Barto. Just a little bit ironic. Oddly enough, this is actually a run killer, potentially. I never thought I would be saying that about Hog Wild, but indeed it is. Yo, Divine Rain, what's going on? And thank you for the good luck. I do appreciate it. How's it going? And yeah, that's awesome, Bada. Glad you're feeling good today. For me, I'm in good spirits. My body is running a little bit behind on my spirits, but that's okay. We've got all day to wake up, and we got a long speed run to help us wake up as well. And yo, Elford, thanks for the good luck, dude. How you doing? Do 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 do. Bum 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 ba da da da. Bum ba da 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 da. This music kind of jams out too. Not gonna lie. Hey, first try hog jump. Let's go. Oops. Okay, so here's a situation where I grabbed the gem because I didn't know where to jump to get over it. So you can see how there it lost me probably like 3 to 4 seconds by just getting the gem, which you don't want to do that if you can avoid it, but it's not a big deal if it does happen. It's not like, oh shit, I totally forgot to like grab the green gem or something. You know, that would be very bad. NBA Playgrounds, is that kind of like NBA Jam, or what sort of NBA game is that? That's good though. I'm glad to hear that you're not bad, Alfred. But like I was saying earlier, my spirit as well. My mind is a little bit jumbled currently, but that's okay. I'm sure that I've seen days like this before where I wake up and I'm just like, I don't know. You know, I wake up and I'm not feeling super fresh, but then like an hour or two later, I'm like, all right, we're good. You know, I think we'll be all right. Yo, Dark Rose Flames, how are you doing? And thank you for the good luck, by the way. I do appreciate it. That's awesome. See you later. I would definitely be down for like some NBA Jam or NFL Blitz. Like, even though I don't follow sports that much, I love the really over-the-top, like arcadey type sport games. I would be so down for that. And yo, I'm glad you're doing well. Seems like everybody's doing well today. We're kind of batting 1,000 here. That's awesome. There we go. But life is good. The short answer is that life is good. I'm feeling a little bit tired this morning, but I am doing very well regardless. Crash is your favorite game? It's mine too. It's mine too. I gotta be honest. I gotta say, this little fella here is very charming. Yeah, he definitely knew how to swoon over 4-year-old me. Yo, nice. See you later. I have NFL Blitz 2000 on the N64. I currently don't have like an NBA Jam type game, but you gotta have an arcade machine for NBA Jam, as far as I'm concerned. I would love to have an arcade version of NFL Blitz 2000 though, too, just for the swag. I want to talk about the Orioles or the Mariners. I guess that's true. I was struggling to see the connection, then I realized, oh yeah, I'm from Baltimore and now live around Seattle. It took me a second to like it took me a second to put 2 and 2 together. Some sick color. On whose nickname, Barto? And yo, Dat Loss, how you doing? Thanks for the good luck. I do appreciate it. Hope you're doing well today. I feel like if you can make your own arcade cab, that would be a really awesome project, and you can kind of do whatever you want with it. Because a lot of arcade cabinets tend to look the same, but you can definitely do something really cool if you make it custom. Joined a weekly Link to the Past rando race and got 4th. Nice. Dude, that's awesome. So when you say number 13 on SRL, is that like an overall ranking, or is that a Link to the Past rando leaderboard? Regardless, that's awesome. I'm just curious. Oh yeah, that's definitely a very bold pink. Absolutely. I used to have a t-shirt that was very bold pink like that, because back in 8th grade, everybody... Because back in the 8th grade... back then, I think like pink was a fad. It was a fad for like guys to wear pink t-shirts. And our class shirt, we had a pink that looked just like that. And unfortunately, I don't have the shirt anymore. But I remember being I remember just being particularly proud of it because, you know, that was like the real men wear pink type movement that I suddenly felt like I was a part of. When you're 14, you do some questionable things. Yo, Muma, what's happening? And Magatoth, how are you guys doing today? Ah, I jumped at a bad time. That's okay though. Virtual gets a double high from see you later. The double high. Yo, what's going on, Chocolate the Gaming as well? How are you doing? The world recce is 3:30:09 with loads. My time is a 3:30:17, so we are about as close as you can get to beating the record. Or about as close as you can get. Yo, what's going on, Raph? How are you doing today, by the way? Ah, I see Dat Loss. That's pretty cool. So how does 2v2 rando races work? Ooh, what kind of ice cream, Magatoth? Very important. No, I totally understand. See you later. There's a lot to pay attention to. For sure. Yeah, that would be really cool if you had a barcade with custom arcade cabinets. That would be super sick. Hangover? Oh no. See, I had a little bit of a late night, but definitely not a hangover sort of late night. I feel for you though, Raph. I've definitely been there. Ben & Jerry's cookie dough, that's a really good flavor. That is a very good flavor. So how does that work? Oh. There you go. Alright, so I actually did mass strats properly this time, which is really cool. And I think we're going to get paid off because I should get a gold split. I had a very good rest of this split, and that definitely saved some time on this boss battle. So there you go. There you go. I personally am a big fan of Ben & Jerry's Half Baked. That's my favorite Ben & Jerry's flavor. Though Chubby Hubby is also good. And I tried, there's a Jimmy Fallon special flavor, at least in the US. I don't remember exactly what it was called. I'll know it if I see it, but I don't remember. I can't recall off the top of my head. That ice cream was delicious too. Oh, I see. So basically, you know, two heads are smarter than one is kind of how it goes then. That's pretty cool. Especially with the randomizer race where basically, like, you kind of have a co-pilot, essentially. Helping you figure stuff out. That's really cool. What's going on, Buzzkill? How you doing? That is not a real ice cream flavor, Buzzkill. Pixar didn't happen. I want to say we live in a world where we could get away with an ice cream company calling it Sweaty Balls, but I don't think I don't think we live in that world yet. Yo, Crazy, how you doing, by the way? I don't remember seeing it last time I was at the grocery store, but then again, I wasn't exactly looking for Sweaty Balls. So I don't know. You're not sure that Ben & Jerry's is available in your area? Yeah, I'm not really sure if how far the reach is in Canada for Ben & Jerry's ice cream. It's pretty much everywhere in the US, but not entirely sure about Canada. I would hope that it's available for you guys, because that is some awesome ice cream. Any reason I'm collecting the boxes? The reason why I am is because we need to get the green gem in the Lost City. This is the one level that we're going to go out of our way to get the gem on. And the reason why is because there is a gem route in Castle Machinery that basically allows you to skip the level. So Castle Machinery is a very long level, and even though you do go out of your way to do the bonuses and get all the boxes in this level, it still saves a good amount of time to get the green gem and do all of this extra work than it is to just do the level normally, any percent wise, and then also do Castle Machinery any percent as well. There we go. No, I totally understand, Crazy. Especially when it comes to your first run, you definitely can't have too many expectations. You just gotta get a run on the board. Doesn't matter how slow it is or what happens. You just gotta get a run on the board, and then you work on beating it. And if anything, if your first run is not super great and you know you can do a lot better, it's easy time save for next time. That's kind of how I look at it in general. Yo, Unfamous, what's going on, dude? How are you doing, by the way? Do you have Chalk Ices in America? I don't know about Chalk Ices in particular as a brand. Like, what kind of ice cream is it? Excellent. So we died, I think, in this bonus in my last run, which is pretty cool. I think we died twice, maybe. That could have been a different run, but I think we died twice. At least once, maybe twice. So that's pretty cool. Still don't know a great way to get past there faster. Yeah, I'm just kind of stumped personally on how to get through there a little bit faster, but we'll just wait a little bit. It's not a big deal. What's my Twitter? It is at It's Chris Mark. So basically, take my Twitch and put It's in front of it, just ITS. You can also scroll down to the bottom of my Twitch page, Buzzkill, and you'll get a link to my Twitter. You just click on the banner that says Twitter. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how they split the difference there, Raph, between only having to go through Deathless in certain levels, you know. Because I think it's really good that for the clear gems, they made it such that you don't need to go through Deathless. Excuse me. And that bonuses don't count towards going through Deathless either. I think that's really nice. And like the color gems definitely are harder to get, and that makes them feel a bit more special. But it's not egregious. It's not like you have to do it with every level, and being able to retry the bonuses is huge. So I do like that. Still on vacation and going home today. I bet that feels bittersweet. Like, you don't want vacation to end, but it's kind of nice to go back home too, right? You skip Castle Machinery, Barto, and you'll see towards the end of this run, towards the end of Crash 1, how that saves time. It looks really slow. Like I totally understand where you're coming from. This is one level where I think invincibility really doesn't do anything. If anything, it could make you too risky, for that matter. Because a lot of the danger in this level is falling down pits. Like, for me, I tend to think less is more dat loss. So, like, my layouts tend to be pretty simple, and they tend to be pretty simple and minimal, for that matter. So, like, here I have, like, my splits at the top. I've got my webcam off to the side. I got my bit cup in the lower left-hand corner, and that's about it. You know, basically just not taking away from the real estate of the game. So that's one of the interesting things about layouts, especially for widescreen games, is how do you know, how can you make it unique? Like, how can you kind of make it your own and put all the information that you want on the stream without it being too distracting? And it definitely is a hard balance to strike sometimes. It's basically a Klondike bar. Well, we do have Klondike bars. I can tell you that much, Virtual. So it's probably, if it's similar, then I'd be willing to say yes. Yo, in St. Paul, what's going on, dude? How you doing? Plan to start the Turok remasters. That's pretty cool, actually. How's the scene for speedrunning the Turok remasters compared to the originals? Yeah, everybody's different. Some people definitely like less is more. Some people like a lot of information, you know, a lot of things on screen. And, you know, I think that both streamers and viewers alike are kind of split on that. And you can definitely tell when you watch streamers who have, you know, some streamers who have more involved layouts than others, and others who have, like, almost nothing sometimes. Do 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 ba da 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 da. Do 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 do. Sweet. Feels good, man. Dude, we all have those days that lost. Don't worry about it. So I held X, and actually that screen did not get sped up whatsoever. So I don't know. No, it's okay, Crash, really. Like, I definitely went through my pain period where I died 50 times during my first try of the high road. And, you know, I still die on the high road sometimes. So definitely don't worry about it. We've all been there, and we all struggle, for sure. Yeah, definitely. For 4x3 games, you're almost like forced to have like some kind of overlay, you know, and you can get a bit more creative, because you have a bunch of screen real estate that's not getting taken up by the game, but yeah, it's definitely challenging with 16:9, especially if you don't have a green screen. If you have a green screen, no problem. Like, you basically that actually helps you out a lot, because you then become a part of the game that doesn't get blocked, like when you're kind of down towards the bottom. And that's one of the reasons why I think it would be fun to have a green screen, and it would be like, if I was doing more 16:9 games, like, that would be really nice to have. Currently, I'm a little bit worried about heat, which is one of the reasons why I'm not too sure about it's one of the reasons why I'm not too sure about getting a green screen here, is because the lights put off a lot of heat, and I'm not entirely sure how that'll work, because this room already does get kind of hot during the day. It really depends, Barto, and that's definitely where opinion comes into play. You know, some people like it, some people don't, and honestly, it's up to whatever the streamer wants to do. And, you know, if the streamer likes it, chances are there's going to be other people out there who like it too. Yo, Sulfur Rock, how are you doing? The world record is 3:30:09, as Khan mentioned. That's with loads. So that's the time that you'll see on the splits, is the time with loads. The leaderboards will have times without loads, and those will be shorter for the Insane Trilogy, because the load times are pretty significant in this game. See you later, reminding me that I need to explain everything like John Madden. Oh yeah, that totally makes sense. Like, for the rando overlays, like, it's really cool when people have the items that they need to collect, so you can kind of get an idea of what they have and when, and those are definitely really cool. I do like that very much. Whoops. Help. Help. Okay, we're good. I was standing pretty close to the screen, and I thought that I was gonna get hit there, but I didn't. So that was pretty cool. But I was a little bit scared there that I was in the danger zone. Yo, Guardian, what's happening, dude? I did not have the best first half of Island 1. I will say that much. No! Oh, that's lame. Alright, so I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful here, just to cut my losses. But I did have a really good Ripperoo segment. In particular, the boss fight. I actually got mass strats and did not die. It took me a little while, but I did it. There we go. Yeah, normally, if you run to the very edge of the platform and jump, it'll be fine. I think I waited a little too long, because I was already walking off the side there. And basically, what happened there was that I was a little bit lower. So basically what happened there is I was a little bit lower to the ground when I jumped, and that meant that my height was not going to be big enough to go over the top of the other platform. Yo, White Mage, what's going on, dude? How are you doing? Crash 1 is the longest? Oh, jeez! What the heck happened here? There we go. I somehow bonked off the bottom of the platform, and I don't know how that happened. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna skip this checkpoint. Because this. There we go. Nice and easy. And that's a disaster. That's a disaster. Why? I probably should have been more careful with the bats, but I didn't think I needed to be. Like, I really didn't think I needed to be, because I do strats like that all the time. And, I do strats like that all the time, and I don't die. And unfortunately, I died there. So, that sucks. We'll have to see where we're at after this split. I don't really want to reset, because there is a lot of time that I lost at the end of this run. So, I'd rather not restart. But that definitely sucks. Like, that's going to be probably like a minute loss right there. What's going on, JT and Zontac, by the way? How are you guys doing? And that's the risk with not getting that checkpoint, which is, you know, something that I thought about. I thought about not skipping this checkpoint in full trilogy runs, but that I might end up skipping it in single game runs. But I decided to risk it for the biscuit. And got punished. It happens sometimes. It definitely does happen. So that's why I'm not really, like, super upset about it. Like, yeah, it kind of sucks to lose that time, but at the same time, like, you know, I knew what I was doing. Like, I knew the risk that I was taking. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't work out. I don't do it as often as other people do. I think, generally speaking, for checkpoint skips, that's one of the last things I start doing, is because, you know, I'm always nervous about if I do end up dying, if I do end up dying at a time like that, you know, that's a big time loss, and how do you recover? You know, because it's very easy to just be like, oh, whatever, like, this run sucks, I'm just going to reset it. But I don't really think that's correct. I don't really think that's, like, the best thing you can do after something like that happens, especially with a run as long as this, with as much potential time save as this. If it was a single game run and I already had, like, a really highly optimized run, then maybe. But you never know what you can do towards the end of the run. And if I can find a way to continue a run, especially one that still has the potential to be on pace that I'm looking for, oh geez, then I'm not going to sweat it, really. Yo, Gon, thanks for the host, by the way. I do appreciate it. And what's up, man? Thank you for the good luck. How was your stream today, by the way? Would I say this game would benefit from the slide? It's hard to say how the slide would change Crash 1. It would make a difference, absolutely. But at this point, I'm not really sure exactly how good it would be. And yo, thank you for the host, Guardian. No, I don't think we need to go overboard with that, Guardian. Sometimes you make random mistakes, no matter how hard you practice, you know? I don't think we need to go overboard, you know, just because something like that happened, you know? And yo, Buzzkill, thank you for the host as well. I do appreciate it. But that was definitely rough because, like, I think in the regular Crash 1, I don't think you get hit by those bats if you stand on that one platform, but in the Insane Trilogy you do. And that's always like an awkward part because you don't want to wait for the bats because waiting feels slow. But then if you excuse me, but then if you try to go for it like that, sometimes you get to a point in the cycle where the bats are just right there. And they're relentless. Like, you can't possibly spin fast enough to kill all of them. Yo, that's good news, though, about your PB gone. And I totally understand. Sometimes you try to do runs and you just can't get anything going. Like, it's just, you know, it's just not going to be a good day for that particular game. But sometimes you end up just, like, switching to another game, and then that ends up working out pretty well. You know, sometimes you can still have, like, some of my, like, most fun stream days have actually been where my runs have not amounted to anything. So, although it's nice to have, you know, really good runs just for the sake of it, that it doesn't always tell the whole story. And those days can still be pretty fun, too. There we go. You did great, but you missed everything. It's starting to wonder exactly how important the word great is. How do you avoid the lizards making you run backwards? You want to jump pretty far forward on top of the green lizards. Because those are the ones that if you hit them, they kind of push you backwards. And if you jump towards the back end, their hitbox is kind of weird and it probably won't work properly. So if you jump farther forward, you'll have a much better chance of actually being able to kill them. It's kind of hard to explain how it works, but basically if you jump farther forward on those enemies, like basically on their head, you'll be fine. And that's usually what I aim for when I try to attack those lizards, is I try to land on them as far forward as possible. Do 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 do. No, I totally understand white mage. Like sometimes they just own you. Like every once in a while, like you can just get owned sometimes by the lizards, because like they'll be in kind of a different cycle, or it'll be in a different spot that you would expect. You know, there definitely are some like little variances depending on how fast you go and where those lizards are. I was gonna say it was because of those meddling kids and that dumb dog, i.e. Scooby-Doo. But Batman works too. Blame it on the Batman. It's all good though. 1 minute behind's not a big deal for the Trilogy run. Like that time could be made up so quickly. Yo, Final Fantasy, how's it going, dude? And thank you for the good luck. I do appreciate it. He takes all the credit and blame at the same time. Exactly. See you later. I remember the first couple of full Trilogy runs and actually single game runs I did of this game. I died mostly because of the lizards too, White Mage, in the Lost City. But definitely try to be a little cautious around them and make sure that you land as far forward on top of them as possible. And I think you'll have a much better, chance of getting through them. Wasn't like Scooby Snacks like an actual thing that was sold? I don't know whether it was doggy treats or if it was like human snacks. But I did hear about, I do remember hearing about Scooby Snacks actually being a thing. Yo, Fanstay, how are you doing? Dude, life is good. I'm a little bit tired, but life is good. And how are you doing today, by the way? Still are there graham cracker cookies? I need to find them. I definitely need some Scooby Snacks in my house. That's really cool, though. I might have to go on a hunt later today for some Scooby Snacks. We'll see though. But yeah, I actually did not lose as much time as I thought I would on Sunset Vista. I think it's because I saved some time on the Lost City, and there's a potential there I actually could have gotten a pretty good gold split as well. If Sunset Vista hadn't have gone wrong. But it's Sunset Vista. It's gonna go wrong sometimes. What if that was the thing where like if for speedrun motivation. Oh god. I don't know why I didn't jump later than that. If that was a thing for speedruns where basically you would get a treat if you world record. If only human needs were so simple. But they're not. Instead we're silly and complicated. Yo, what's going on, Ginkgo? How are you doing? Since when is Minecraft trying to be realistic? You're asking the wrong guy. I've not been terribly interested in Minecraft personally, but I think it's totally realistic for everybody to be a blockhead and for there to be no round edges on anything. Yo, Super Spyro, what's up, dude? Thank you for the good luck. And how's it going, by the way? Quickly change from using cookies to tame them. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you might not want to give anybody any ideas. That's definitely not good. I'm glad that they fixed it, though. That's pretty cool. It would only be fitting that I would receive reward Pez candy from Pez. Exactly. See you later. Excuse me. Abolexer and Saute Chicken, how you guys doing today as well? Good to see you both. NST could learn about squares. See, here's the thing, though. The round hitboxes, I think, are just because it's more accurately modeled. I don't think it has to do with them just being, like, really rude and being like, oh, we're gonna make Crash's butt, like, really slippery. You know. I think it was just more accurate modeling. But it does make it kind of annoying for speedrunning sometimes, where certain jumps are now, like, pretty marginal, whereas the other ones were basically free. Yo, Sasketcho, how are you doing today? I feel like it's been a little while since I've seen you. Seen you around, by the way. Hope you've been well. Coming in with the vulgar entrance, I see. There. Nailed it. Eating ice bucket? Like, just ice, or is it flavored ice? So wait, SM64 on PAL, I don't think I've seen anybody run it before. What are the differences with SM64 on PAL versus the NTSC versions of the game? No, I don't blame you. Like, it's hard to not binge when you play Minecraft. It's hard to not do that. Yo, Captain Rimmer and Gummy Bear, how you guys doing? Gummy Bear, it kind of sounds like that you're actually a Mudokon. For that matter, sounds like something Abe would do. Some cosmetic mods to spice it up. What about the what is it? The super awesome graphic pack? I think that's what it's called, or is it super duper graphic pack? With the 4K textures for Minecraft, which I originally laughed at, but it actually does look pretty good. Dynamic surroundings. What does that do? Oh, it adds a bunch of sounds to the world, so it kind of makes it. I guess it makes it more immersive. That's pretty cool, though. Is there any VR support for Minecraft? Like, can you use Oculus or Vive to actually kind of freely look around the area, or is that not supported? Because I feel like that plus the dynamic mod would be really awesome for like VR. You just get so immersed in the world. Alright, cool. There you go. Toxic waste is so fun. Like, it feels easier, which isn't why it's fun, but it just goes very smoothly. Like, if you just run forward and never stop, like, it's super smooth. I'm not gonna lie, I was tempted to start playing Sandstorm once you mentioned Sandstorm, Datloss, but I thought better of it a little bit later on. So immersive, high-end, realistic graphics. I mean, the 4K pack looks great. See you later. Like, we make fun of the 4K graphics pack, but actually it looks really good. And it's still Minecraft. Like, Minecraft's charm is because it's so blocky. you know. Yes, I do, Abalexer. I am playing on a PS4. I never realized how much these drums really groove in this boss battle. I never really took the time to appreciate the drums in this game. Basically, PAL is 25 FPS. That makes sense. That's kind of the same thing for Crash 2. I guess they didn't compensate for the frame rate difference like Naughty Dog did. And that would definitely make a difference. Alright, so I died in Cortex Power, which I think is one of the reasons why I'm not saving time on that split, but that's okay. Because this is where we can save the big time. Jaws of Darkness, I lost. I think like all my time lost in this split was Jaws of Darkness. And then in Cortex, I think I died a couple of times as well. So we definitely are able to bring this run back. Whoa, okay. Yeah, it's the same as my Twitch Abalexer, except it is the Chris Marks. So basically just put a the in front of my Twitch name, and that is my PSN. Alright, at least that was after a checkpoint. That was a little close. Oh, okay. I was trying pretty hard to stay close to the hog there, thinking that I could jump over him at the very last second, but you can't. Okay, you can't do that either with the death cycle. Yo, sounds good to me. Yeah, I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do here except wait. Okay, so that hog just sits there. That's actually really good to know. Yeah, that was weird. That death cycle definitely does not cooperate. I tried to make it cooperate, but it wouldn't listen to me. I think it just has trust issues. It's all good though. Definitely, deaths happen in the high road. You kind of have to expect it, you know. At least they were like relatively quick ones. It wasn't like I died right before the first checkpoint, because that one's actually a pretty major time loss. I think the distance between the start of the level and the first checkpoint is pretty long compared to some of the other distances between checkpoints. Is it exactly the same name as your Twitch, or will it be recognizable in a different sort of way? Yeah, the music does jam pretty well, Virtual. Like, the music does just work somehow. Jumped a little early, but that's fine. Why did I make my trophies private? I did not intend to. I think I was just going through privacy settings, and I might have been really tired when I made the account and just went, okay, let's make this private, and did not mean to make my trophies private. So maybe I'll fix it after the stream. If you send me a whisper to fix it, then I can go ahead and update my privacy settings so you guys can see my trophies. That was definitely not intentional. Do 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 do. Oh, wow. That sucks. So yeah, I think my Stormy Ascent grinding is causing problems because I think my Stormy Ascent grinding is causing problems because I just tried to go off the second to last step there, and you can't do that on that particular jump, but there's a lot of jumps in Stormy Ascent where you can. Yeah, of course, Jacko. Of course. I leave no friend request unaccepted. At least on PSN so far. Yeah, that would be a challenge run for sure, Datloss. 311 plus all plats. I feel like that might be like a 24-hour stream potentially, depending on how things go. Definitely probably at least like 16 hours, I would say. Nope, I don't like that. If I can make the quick cycle, then that's awesome, but if I can't, then I definitely have to wait a little bit. Oh, jeez. There we go. Hey, there's one. I guess, like, yeah, some levels would take longer than others, but, like, considering that you would be doing your first run, you know, of each game for 311, like, that would definitely take a really long time. Like, Crash 2 102, if you know what you're doing, would probably take you, you know, like, it would probably take you around, like, 3.5 hours, you know, to do a solid run of. But the other ones would probably take longer. Like Crash 102 would probably take longer. Or 104 would take longer because Stormy Ascent would make you... Stormy Ascent would probably take a really long time to get Platinum on. And 105 would take a long time too, just because it is a very long game. Any news on DLCs or other remasters? No. No, the last bit of news we had was Stormy Ascent, which came out on Thursday. Beyond that, I've got nothing. Nothing that I know of, at least. Yo, what's going on, Step Key? How are you doing? Dude, you're not alone. You're not alone. They don't call the Crash Insane Trilogy Dark Souls for nothing. I remember when the game first came out, we kind of laughed at the game review that called it Dark Souls, and then we played it and realized, crap, they're right. we then realized that they were right, especially for me as a speedrunner of the original games as well. I was not expecting the learning curve to be so steep for these games, but it's been really fun. Like once you get past that learning curve and you can kind of figure out how the game works, it's really cool, and I have a lot of fun with it. Can definitely appreciate the difficulty. Yo, R-Dude, how you doing today, man? Well, there is the extended sunset vista. That could be a thing. There's also who knows what other kind of beta levels they could throw in. Because like for Lost Treasures, I feel like they would have to have at least like half a dozen levels to make it worth it. And I don't know what the others are. Like there's Stormy Ascent and Extended Sunset Vista. But I don't know what those other levels are, or in which games they come from, because I don't know of any beta levels in Crash 2 or 3 that didn't get used. So it's kind of crazy. Because they did mention a Lost Treasures DLC, so presumably it's coming. I just don't really know what it's going to do, you know, exactly. Do you currently have the Insane Trilogy, Dark Rose, or you still have yet to pick it up? And I'm glad you're doing well, R dude. That's good. It seems like a lot of people are having a really good Sunday today, which is awesome. I'm feeling a little bit tired, but in good spirits in general. You can only compare it so much to Dark Souls. At the end of the day, it is still kind of a joke, and Crash Bandicoot is definitely very different from Dark Souls, but like it's like a Dark Souls of platforming games. Definitely has very high difficulty. And Activision knew this when they printed that article about addressing some of the complaints where people had about how it was too hard. Like, they basically just said, yeah, yeah, this game is hard. Just keep practicing. What's going on, Rhea Ken? How are you doing? I do not have the world record. I am 8 seconds away from the world record. The this PB that I got yesterday technically is 8 seconds away from the record, but we're very close, and that's pretty cool. And definitely hoping to convert it into a record today, but we'll see. It may happen, it may not. Yeah, basically. What they were saying politely was get good. Gold Rush has the most crates in the entire series. 209 definitely is the largest that I can think of. You know, the only level that I think really comes close is Cold Heart Crash with 155. Oh, I see, Dark Rose. I personally actually bought a PS4 a little bit before the Insane Trilogy came out. I'm interested in some other titles on the PS4 as well, but the Insane Trilogy was a major catalyst for me to actually pull the trigger, if that makes sense. It's like I was interested in the PS4 but didn't really want to buy one, and then the Insane Trilogy was announced, and it was kind of a done deal from there. At that point, I had to get a PS4. I just had to. But I totally understand. And yo, Terry Bull, I kind of agree that there was a steep learning curve. It is difficult, though. I think because of the way the physics work, and because especially the way Crash 1 works, where it is a lot of run and jump platforming, that I can see how a lot of people not used to Crash would be not used to his fragility, because he is kind of fragile in the sense that if he gets hit once, he dies without a mask. Whereas like Mario, for example, has a health bar, so it's actually pretty hard to die as Mario, unless it's like Rainbow Ride and there's just pits everywhere. You know, but with Crash, it's very easy to die in particular. I've never played a Ratchet and Clank series, so I'm gonna have to defer that until I actually do play it. It's a cool idea. I'm definitely curious about Ratchet and Clank. I just never really played it when I was younger. You think Crash 3 is the easiest? I think that Crash 3 is probably the easiest and most approachable casual experience. The variety does help a lot, especially for the average gamer, because like some people will get bored of platforming all the time, and having vehicles in Crash 3 where you can kind of race, you can use a jet ski, like you can fly a plane, like that's all really cool, and it's definitely a really awesome change of pace for a lot of people. It falls down in Castle Machinery like 50 miles. He has like 100 crates dropped on top of himself, and he's fine. But if he gets touched by a rat, it's over. What's going on, Robster? Looks like Team Rocket is blasting off again. Well, that's good. That's a good thing, though. That means they're out of here. That means the good guys have won. Oops. Oh yeah, definitely some big plot holes in platforming games. See you later. To be fair, I didn't play Crash Bandicoot because the plot was good. So it kind of makes sense. Do. Yeah, I want to know what those rats are on to have a touch of death, because that's definitely not something I'm aware of. Not with the rats IRL. To be fair though, I'll definitely let my cats handle Pursuit of Mice. Should there ever be a need for one. Should continue time trials and getting gems? That sounds good to me. How far along are you right now? That would be cool, Stepkey. Spyro remake would definitely be very cool. I don't know at this point if Activision would prefer to do like a CTR remaster, or if they would prefer to do a Spyro remaster, but they could probably do either, and I wouldn't be surprised to see either one of those two announced within the next year. They might not do anything, but honestly, with the success of the Insane Trilogy, I really think that I honestly really think that they are down to do at least one more type of remaster. Okay, you're working your way up then, Magatoth. You're definitely getting there. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they were thinking about a Spyro remake or a CTR remake or something like that. I definitely think that's likely. What's going on, Kraken Nose? Honestly, like, remasters make sense from a business perspective. The nostalgia is very real. I think nostalgia is a big reason why the Insane Trilogy sold very well. If they made a new Crash game, I think it would be very risky without doing some kind of remaster. And one of the nice things about remasters is that although, like, it's the same game, essentially, it's not the same game. Like, it's totally different thing compared to the original Crash Trilogy, which is awesome. And it definitely sets itself apart, which is what you really want. You want a reason to play the remaster over the originals, and you want a reason to play the originals instead of the remasters. And I think that's something that Vicarious Visions did a really good job of when they made this game. You know, they made it familiar, but still a unique experience. And from a business perspective, making a 90s platformer in 2017 is hard. It's hard to sell that to the average gamer nowadays. Look at what happened with Yooka-Laylee. The game was an interesting concept, but it just didn't really catch on. Like, it did not sell super well. And I think the reason why is because the average gamer nowadays doesn't really care about platformers as much. Like, they don't really capture people's attention. They want something that's a bit more realistic and gritty rather than something over the top and goofy like this. Not that I'm saying it's bad, it's just most gamers nowadays, especially your more common average gamers, are not as in tune with this. But having said that, if you release the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy and you basically say, okay, we know you guys loved the original games and they were great, let's remake them and basically just, you know, test the waters with it, see how many people like Crash Bandicoot, and basically give it our all. It worked out really well. I definitely think that the remaster made sense from a business perspective, and it also came out really well. It was well done. So I think that they could do a new game later on, Krakenos, but it really depends on the continued success of more remasters and overall, like, people being interested in Crash Bandicoot. I think the remasters and coming back to these franchises kind of helps build hype, and then they can release a new game later on. I think that would be what would make sense for me if I was on the business side of things. And I think that it definitely makes sense to do some remasters first to establish interest in Crash, and then go from there. What's going on, Ateet? How are you doing today? I personally wouldn't mind a Wrath of Cortex remake either, White Mage, but I think it's unlikely. I don't think that's a great option for them to remake. I just feel like it's not quite as iconic. It's not as well remembered as the original games are. I wish it were different, but I just don't think that's going to cut the mustard. I think that's true for a lot of the PS2 era, or a lot of the PS2 era Crash games. They're just not quite there when it comes to the PlayStation ones. Can I beat Elena's score in Crash Bandicoot? Those Elena bots are crazy that I see in some other people's channels. Bingo! There's our time save, guys. And now we're ahead. Yes, I have, Robster. I played Stormy Ascent. I've got the gold relic. I got the gem. And we were trying to get the platinum relic yesterday and unfortunately did not make it. But maybe we'll try again later. Who knows? I would hope so, Datloss. I really hope that that's true. And yo, Slash Arbiter, what's going on, man? World record today? Hopefully. Hopefully, we'll see. We got to beat my time by at least 9 seconds to get the world record. Rather see a Twin Sanity Redux with all the cut stuff. Honestly, like, that would be the most... That would, I think, would be the best option if you're going to do a revisit for a PS2 era game. I think that Twin Sanity would be the one that should be done. That's the one that I think could stand to improve the most from putting all the cut stuff in there and basically doing it properly. Basically just doing it properly, honestly. Yo, James Murr, how are you doing? Thank you, and thank you for the good luck as well. I do appreciate it. How's it going, by the way? And yo, thanks, Terry Bull, as well. Yeah, Twin Sanity had an awesome acapella soundtrack. That is true. Was it hard? Yes. In a word, yes. It definitely lived up to his reputation, I would say. Thank you. It definitely is good so far. I didn't have a great Crash 1. I had a better one than my previous run, but it definitely was not as good as it could be. It definitely wasn't quite as good as it could be, but it's okay because we're in the green. That's definitely all I need. Would I get a Team Racing remake? Absolutely, especially if it had online multiplayer. Like, online multiplayer, I think, would be a must for the CTR remake to be really successful. And I think that doing a CTR, honestly, a CTR remake online races with you guys would be so awesome. I think that would be a really fun time. And I think that overall... Oh, hello. That was almost bad. I think that would just be an absolute blast. And I would really love to have that opportunity. And for, you know, just in general, like, online multiplayer would sell the CTR remaster by itself, I think. I think the remaster would absolutely need to have it. What time is it in my country? It is, give me a second. At the end of this level, I'll let you know. Exactly. If you haven't already bought a PS4 for the Insane Trilogy, the CTR remastered, I think, would put it over the top. Yeah, you can do the games in any order. To those who asked if you need to do it one right after the other. You can do them in any order. I just do them 1, 2, 3 because it makes sense. It is currently 10:21 a.m. where I am at. I live on the west coast of the United States, so our time zone is one of the last time zones, I think, before the dateline. So we're always much earlier on in the day. I've seen that. I've seen people do net play through Mario Party, and that does look really fun, that loss. And honestly, like, online Mario Party would also be amazing. Like, imagine also a Crash Bash remaster with online multiplayer and online co-op adventure mode. Fixing the AI and maybe balancing some of the harder items a little bit more. So like, adventure mode is not quite so swingy. But I think adjusting that and adding online multiplayer for Crash Bash would also be a huge deal. I don't know if Crash Bash is going to get a remake. I doubt it, honestly. But I think CTR is much more likely. But that would be super cool if it did. I guess that's true. Like, you don't really have a very personal avatars on the PS4. That is one thing that I have noticed. It would be kind of cool. I think it would be kind of cool, honestly, to have that kind of customization. But we'll just have to see. Maybe with the next console, they might add that in. And yo, Dragoon, how's it going? Dude, I want a Crash Bash remaster too, honestly. That would be something that I would also be a big fan of too. Like, you could do online, like, Crash Bash tournaments. Like, wouldn't that be awesome? Like, just basically be able to do online Crash Bash tournaments where basically you end up just having like competitive brackets for Crash Bash mini games. That would be super cool. Basically, both players still have their own games, but they share an inventory of major items they find. Oh, I see. I see what you're talking about now. That is pretty cool, though, Datloss. You know, A Link to the Past is still, you know, there's still some new tricks up its sleeve. What's going on, Holok? How are you doing? Yeah, of course. If we're going to have it, we definitely want it done right. If we're going to have it, we definitely want it done right. But we'll have to see if they do it and how it comes out. And yo, what's going on, Hypno? Long time no see, by the way. Hope you've been well. It will just be CNK? I don't think so. Like, I think Vicarious Visions, like, I think they understand, and they do listen to the consumers, and I think they understand that what happened with Nitro Kart, and that it is very important that the physics work out well, and that's, you know, it didn't quite work out as well as CTR did. So I think that Vicarious Visions can learn from their previous lessons, you know. So I don't think they'll just give us CNK and say, here you go, here's a CTR remaster. I think they'll do a better job this time around. Spyro, Resident Evil, oh yeah. Resident Evil 2 remaster, I think is supposed to come out soon. Something like that. Mario 64 if you shared stars? That would be interesting. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? I don't need to go this way. For some reason, I thought I was doing Crash 1 Hundo. There we go. I've never played Tag Team Racing. From what I understand, like Tag Team Racing and CNK are not bad games, but they're just not like as good as CTR. There we go. Some people like CNK and some people like CTTR, and that's not a big deal. It's just like the general consensus is that like CTR was like the best, but at the same time, like CNK and CTTR were not terrible at the same time. There we go. It's called Crash Team Racing, but you can't form teams. You know, I never really thought about that. See you later. But you're right. That is weird. But yo, Ben Nazcal, I don't think I've said hi to you yet, man. How are you doing? I honestly have fun playing both, Holok. I think that like Mario Kart and CTR are two like very different racing games. Like they're competitors on the surface, but I think they both approach kart racing very differently. And I personally like to play both, and I kind of look for a different experience with both, if you think about it. That's awesome, Ben. I'm glad you're doing fine today, man. I'm feeling pretty good. Good spirits. I'm a little bit tired today, but overall, I am in good spirits, and life is good. There we go. Definitely had a great day yesterday, and today's looking pretty good too, not gonna lie. I actually never played Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, and I really want to try it. That's like the one Mario Kart I have not played yet. Actually, Mario Kart Wii I never played either, but I have at least played at least once or twice some of the other games. The movement work in Crash 3, it's slide spinning. The movement in Crash 3 is pretty similar to Crash 2 in the Insane Trilogy, to where you basically are slide spinning everywhere. With Crash Shoes, holding the Crash Shoes and slide jumping is the fastest way to move. But it doesn't really make a difference for any percent, because by the time we get the Crash Shoes, the run's over. So, slide spinning, slide jumping sometimes is faster, depending on like what you're doing and where you're going. But generally, slide spinning is fastest. Most people talk about Mario Party being the friendship killer. For See You Later, it was definitely Super Mario Kart. Just wondering what I meant by the avatar thing, like the avatar meaning like your profile picture, you know, or like your identity on the PlayStation Network. Yeah, the movement is definitely different from the original, and that's totally fine. Like, honestly, I think that it's great that the movement is different, because if the movement was the same as the original, it wouldn't really separate itself from the original games. And then at that point, you know, why would I play the remaster? So I think that having the movement be different and having the games feel different as a result is actually a good thing. Whoops. You know, you can get more from the store. Oh, I know. There's definitely are avatars that are available. But you don't have the Miis. You don't have, like, the Xbox avatars where you kind of have a person. Like, you have your own, like, identity. I don't really think that's a thing on the PlayStation Network. They never play Uno. Dude, Uno is a friendship killer, too. Dude, it's a family killer. Like, I remember back in the day when I used to play Uno with my family. Like, my dad would get very into it. And, you know, you could tell when he was losing. But you could tell when he was winning too, and he was like absolutely ecstatic to be ahead. It was kind of crazy. But yeah, Uno plays a little bit differently depending on the rules as well. So sometimes you can play with a group of people where Uno is like super cutthroat and you just get like totally wrecked. But then there's other like Uno people you play with where it's like a little bit more forgiving. You know, it's very different. Is every card game a family killer? Actually, no. I would say that like strategic TCGs like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, like Magic the Gathering, Force of Will, Hearthstone. I would say those actually are not as much. I would say those not as much. Ripperoo indeed, says Ketcho. This is the craziest of all the roos right here. He definitely suits that title. Monopoly is a real friendship killer. That's a game that kills families. Monopoly, somebody's gonna get upset when playing Monopoly. That's just how it's gonna go. How did I gain so much time? I died a lot in Jaws of Darkness, which you didn't really see much improvement in my embryo split because I died in Sunset Vista and in the High Road. But I died a couple of times in Cortex, and that was where I saved time in the end of Crash 1. So that was definitely a big time save there. I had like 4 minutes of time to save just from mistakes in Crash 1. So there's definitely, that was probably the run where I had the most room for improvement. But Crash 2 and 3 can also go better. There's definitely some things I did not do very well in each of these runs either. Whoops, that platform goes up a lot faster than I thought it would. Yo, what's going on, Pochan? They changed Rue's Laugh, and originally I was not a big fan of it either, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it now. But yeah, Mario Party definitely is a friendship killer as well. Mario Party and Monopoly are probably the two biggest friendship / family killers out there. So if you're looking to start some shit, which I don't really condone, that's a way to do it. Dang, that got real, White Mage and Hypno. That got super real. A PC and food is all you need. You got food, entertainment, and a bed to sleep on. That's all you really need at the end of the day. There's a multiplayer mod being made for Breath of the Wild. Wait, how does it work? How does it work? And how does I didn't realize that you could mod Switch games to. I feel like console games are just way harder to mod in general. Excuse me. Oh man, that's all right. We basically have to refill our mass in. Yeah, we basically have to refill our mass in Air Crash anyway, right? So it doesn't really matter. So yeah, like that actually doesn't matter at all. Because masks don't do us any good in the next 2 levels anyway. That's good to know, actually. I could probably just skip a bunch of cycles when I have those 2 masks. Couple seconds here, 3 seconds there. It'll all work out. Didn't have any friends until late high school. Like for me, I've always had friends growing up in grade school, but like I didn't really form like close relationships or close friendships with anybody until high school. So like that was when I kind of had like best friends, or when I had friends that like we could talk to each other about problems, we could share good times, and like we could really be friends to each other. I guess like before that point, friends were like kind of people you hung out with. You know, you went to the pool with, you know, hung out on like a Saturday afternoon, like that sort of thing. I guess it depends on what you mean by drink, Holok. You can have a drink and you can have a drink, if you know what I mean. Anyone remember the board game Atmosphere? What do you mean by that? Oh, it's on emulator. I was gonna say that you probably would have to emulate it at that point. I didn't realize that Switch emulation was a thing, unless they're talking about Wii U, the Wii U version of the game. You played Jumanji once? The keyword being once, I think. I mean, Robin Williams played Jumanji once. Or I'm sorry, rather his kids did. I don't think they're going to play that game again. Jumanji's fun, though. Actually playing Jumanji was actually a really good time back when I was younger. Can I say hi to Van Pelt for you? Always got to pay respects to the Van Pelts, the OGs of Jumanji. There you go, Holok. I like your attitude. Yo, Let's Play. How are you doing today? I'm not gonna lie, definitely for board games for me, I definitely prefer to play like the more social games, like the Resistance, the Resistance, Avalon, Werewolf, Secret Hitler, which sounds like an awful game title, but it's actually a really, really fun game. And I'm trying to think of what else I played that I really liked. Formula D was actually a really fun game. That's like a game that it's like a racing game, except it's not. Like it's kind of a strategic like racing game where you basically have to try to figure out how to get around the track the fastest. And there's some really interesting like tech in that game. It's hard to explain, but definitely give it a try if you're around Formula D or you have one available to try. But yeah, Secret Hitler, it sounds terrible, but it's basically a game pretty similar to the Resistance and Avalon. It's like a Who's Who type game, and it's great. Like, they have some very unique traits to that game that I think make it the most fun version of the Resistance type games. And it's my favorite Who's Who it's my favorite Who's Who genre type game to date. You should definitely mention those board games on the Twitch page. What do you mean by that? What's up, Queenus? How are you doing today? I'm sorry, not Queenus. Quinus. Queenus. Yeah, you guys know where that's going. Ever play Car Lesbians? No. That sounds interesting though. Yes, I do, Step Key. I'd rather not do that if I don't have to, just because... I'd rather not do that if I don't have to, just because it does take some extra time. But yeah, I am aware of that trick, and that on the Japanese version of Crash 2, that is required. That is required to get 100% completion in the game. I mean, I guess a lot of streamers, Ben Nazcal, especially if they're playing through a game for the first time, don't like people like backseating. So like, it's generally an etiquette thing where like, unless the streamer asks for help and they're doing a first time playthrough, like you probably don't want to make comments about like how the streamer is playing, because they want to figure it out themselves. So I don't know, like it could have been, it could have been that they were a little sensitive about it, but generally speaking, it's like an unspoken rule of Twitch etiquette where like you don't backseat another streamer unless like they ask for help in general. What's going on, Ultimate Cyclone, by the way? How are you doing? Betrayal at House on the Hill is a fun social game. Is it? What do you mean you can get unfair fast? Like, what do you mean by that? What did you miss? Welcome back, by the way, Virtual. Didn't miss a whole lot. I'm basically just working my way through Warp 2. Making my way downtown, as the cool kids say. Yeah, it is a difficult balance, Ben. Some people don't mind, but generally speaking, that's a good thing to keep in mind going forward. And yo, what's going on, KD3? How are you doing, by the way? I don't blame you for being strict on Breath of the Wild, though. There's a lot to explore, and part of the fun of Breath of the Wild is basically just stumbling upon things and, kind of taking in the experience all at once and basically doing your own kind of exploring. So I could definitely understand how that would be a game where you'd probably be a bit more strict about it. Surf rock songs feel so 90s. I guess so. It's like they feel kind of 90s, but at the same time, they feel kind of like 60s, Thinking like kind of like the Beach Boys, except not quite so cheesy. Yo, welcome back, Unfamous, by the way. Some of the traitor scenarios can be unfair. I wonder if maybe like if you had a playgroup that was really into the game, that you could if you had a playgroup that was really into the game, I wonder if maybe you could if you could mutually agree to make the rules more balanced or something. Also, is it a Kickstarter game or some type of game where like they could potentially like update the game later on? Oh, that's not good. There we go. What's going on, Creasy and Dalen? Dude, long time no see. Hope you guys are doing awesome today. It has been a long time, Dalen. Hope you're doing awesome, man. Today, your Windows recommended Microsoft Edge. It has its uses sometimes. It has its uses sometimes. To one of my favorite uses of Microsoft Edge is to download Google Chrome on it, and then use that going forward. Ah. Keeping mass in Snowbiz is hard. That's the thing that I learned today. Oops, there we go. Yeah, the viewers kind of like the experience too sometimes. Like it's definitely not just for the streamer when it comes to backseating. Like a lot of times it's a good experience for the fun experience for viewers to watch, you know, for communities to watch the streamer kind of work things out. Yo, God Sonic, what's up, dude? And thank you for the host. How's it going, man? And what's up, ACs and Real Lance Gunnin? How are you guys doing as well? Is this my category of choice, or am I just giving them all a try? Well, originally this was to give them all a try, and then I started doing individual game runs as well. So I basically run all three categories somewhat equally, AC's plays, and I'm really enjoying the any percent speedruns for these games, and working on going faster and faster. But the full trilogy is my cup of tea. Like, I really like doing the full trilogy runs and doing multiple games back to back to back. It is really cool. What's going on, Yayo TV as well? How are you doing? There we go. I used to use Firefox, and now I use Chrome. Don't really know why I decided to switch, but I like Chrome. It can be a computer hog depending on your system, but for the most part, I haven't had any problems with Google Chrome. It's useful to be part of the backdrop. Hey, that gold split though. Let's go. But yeah, I definitely like that too sometimes, Ben, where sometimes I'll lurk, sometimes I'll lurk in other people's streams, sometimes I'll be, you know, a bigger part of the discussion. It just really depends on my mood. Oh, that's not good, Sonic. Hopefully you'll be drying up quickly and feeling a little bit better. Yo, Bill, what's going on, dude? How are you doing? Honestly, I prefer Crash 1 the most of the Insane Trilogy, but I like all of them a lot. I think my order of preference would be 1, 3, and 2, but 2 is not very far behind like 3 or 1, for that matter. If you run all 3 and do 1 really fast, can it be split by itself? Yes, you can. If the splitting works out such that you split at the beginning of the game properly and at the end of the game properly, basically in accordance with the rules, then you're fine. I've done that before, where I've taken I split a run out of a full trilogy run that was a PB in an individual game. So that totally does happen, and it is fine. Have you ever thought of doing sub splits? I've thought about it. I think it would be interesting to do sub splits, especially for like individual level splits. But one of the reasons why I don't want to do it for Crash 2, especially Crash 2 or 3, is because rerouting sometimes happens, where you'll basically have to change your route based on the number of mass that you have. And that gets awkward when you have individual level splits, because you end up basically having to skip a bunch of splits, and then it might be a little bit difficult to keep track of where you're going if you're used to, you know, following your splits very closely. Whoops. Are splits world record or PB? The splits are PB, but it's only 8 seconds away from the world record. So the world record is a 3:30.09, and I have a 3:30.17. Yo, nice, Yayo. How are you liking the Insane Trilogy so far? And I'm doing pretty well. I'm a little bit tired today, but I'm doing very well indeed. I need my chair as an emote. DX Racer already gets plenty of free advertising off of me. Let's be real. I'm just kidding, though. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll have a chair emote down the road for when I like go take a break and my chair is on display for like a few minutes at a time. Glad you're doing all right, Bill. And what's going on, Austin Moore and K-Dak? How are you guys doing? Have I tried game splits? They're okay. I don't like them as much personally. I don't like game splits as much personally because I like to have more precision with timing. I like to do boss splits because it's a very good way of being able to track my progress in the run without pigeonholing myself into like the individual split problem like I was talking about earlier. That's awesome, Dalen. I'm glad you've been doing well, and I love the Insane Trilogy. Like, I am definitely a huge fan of the Insane Trilogy. It's been a blast. I guess I could just blow through here. I don't know, though. It actually could be even higher, God Sonic. Believe it or not. Believe it or not, my Crash 1 was better than before, but it wasn't great. So actually, there is definitely still some time to pick up with Crash 1 as well. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that was a pretty solid sewer later, though. Not going to complain with that. But thank you, God Sonic. I do appreciate the compliment. Ever try splitting wood, splitting the difference, or splitting checks? I split the difference. And actually, I have split wood, as a matter of fact. Splitting checks, I have not done, though. I have to complete the trifecta at some point. My day's been going pretty well, Austin Moore. I definitely can't complain. Definitely cannot complain. Yes, yeah, definitely ACs. That was one thing that was pretty hard to get used to. And when I was practicing for the 1545, I would go back and forth between these games, any percent, and then the old games, 100%. And that was really weird to have conflicting muscle memory there. Oh, so basically you would have one game split that would be separated into the sub-splits which would be the same precision that I already have, right? Super Spyro? Oh god. That's not good. I don't really think there's a need for that. I kind of like having it like Crash 1, 2, and 3. And I think if I put Crash 2 first, then like it kind of just makes it more uncomfortable than it needs to be. Because like if I try to make concessions for like, oh, I really don't like this game, I want to get it out of the way, then that kind of creates a mental block on that game, because you can kind of get it into your head that like, oh, this game sucks, I need to get it out of the way first, I'm always resetting in Crash 2. Like it opens the door for like getting inside your own head, and that's something that I definitely don't want to do. Oh, come on. Come on. These plants are kind of wrecking me right now. I don't like it. Yeah, it was really close at the end of the day, and the 1545 was awesome. Like, I had a great time, and that's amazing how close the race was. What's going on, Peter? How you doing today? Dude, excuse me. Rest in plants indeed, for that matter. Ah, that's so bad. So I'm glad I got the checkpoint first, but yeah, that's really strange how I'm getting killed by these plants a lot. I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong to where they're just getting me, you know, to where like Crash's hitbox, it's almost like Crash's hitbox does not have as much reach as it used to. So like when you go to try to spin those guys, it just doesn't work because you're too far away when you're slide spinning. So they kind of catch you in a gap when you're vulnerable. It's probably something like that. Right. I've tried to do that, Ben, and I want to, at some point I want to go back and see like how you're supposed to skip those vents, because I I've tried to do it at both 1 and 2 wings, and I cannot get through there on my own. So I just have to figure it out, how you're supposed to get through there. The layout, I think, was totally fine, functionally speaking, but it could also be a little bit prettier. I think overall it was pretty awesome, though, to have all the stats right there, so you could see in real time like how everybody's doing. Well, we'll see what happens, Robster. It could last a few hours. It could last a few days. You never know. You never know at that point. You have more opportunities for runs with shorter games. See you later, definitely. Commentary would be really hard. I think you would need like a dedicated commentary team, honestly. Yo, what's going on, Cam? How you doing, buddy? Figured out how to hack laps in CTR, but it could only do 127. Oh, I see. So you would do a 1,000 lap race for 1,000 followers. Well, congratulations, by the way. And that's a pretty neat idea. That is a pretty neat idea indeed. But I'm sure you'll definitely figure out a backup plan. Unfortunately, the 1,000 lap race being thwarted by integer limits. Definitely a very strange limit. Indeed, Robster. Indeed. And yo, what's going on, Hero? How are you doing? And no worries, Crash. The run is still going pretty alright. I kind of died a lot in plant food, which is weird. But aside from that, the run is going pretty sweet. What's going on, Andrew? How are you doing today? Yeah, there is some kind of window. I don't know exactly what that window is. You want to get into casual streaming? I can help you more after the stream virtual. But I can still try to help you a little bit. Like, what are you looking for advice for? Is it more on the technical side or more on the, like, or more on the just, like, streaming side of things? Like, actually being in the middle of a stream and talking to people and so on. Would I go to Games Done Quick? Generally speaking, they're not going to offer me to do a run. I would submit it, and then they would accept or reject it. Currently, what I would like to do for AGDQ 2018 is do a any percent trifecta relay race. So basically, we would do pretty similar to the Mario relay race this past GDQ, and from AGDQ earlier in the year, the DKC race, where we basically do a there'd be 2 teams of 3 runners. In between, each runner would run 1 game in the trilogy, and in between games they would tag off. No longer use the warps in the Insane Trilogy like I did in the OG games. Meaning that you enter bosses in a different place, you mean? You could do that as well, Cam. And that would also kind of help for variety, too, because then you get to do multiple different tracks. And that would be pretty sweet. Where did the time come from to lose? What do you mean, where does the time saved come from? I'm a little bit unsure what you mean. Oh, awesome. That worked out really well. Yo, Cinnamon, long time no see indeed. How are you doing today? Oh, God. That stinks. It was after the jump. It was after the jump that we had problems. All right, sounds good. See you later. We'll see you in a little bit. There we go. What's up, Dolly? How you doing today? And Omar, what's happening, man? You can definitely get there, though, Cam. You can definitely get there, though. I'm glad you're doing awesome, Cinnamon. That is good to hear, man. I heard. Congratulations, Omar. That is sick, dude. Congratulations indeed. Is that your best place so far at the World Cup? By chance? Where did I save time? In Crash 2, I had in the Warp 2, I had a pretty good I had a pretty good Warp 2 split. I saved a lot of time at the end of Crash 1 because my Crash 1 run was not very good, and I died in Cortex a couple of times during my previous run. So that was pretty cool. And right now, we're about to enter Tiny. We're going to lose some time because my plant food was not good. My plant food was not very good at all. So we're going to definitely lose some advantage here. But that's okay. We can definitely get it back with a solid late game and good Crash 3. We only need to beat our time by 9 seconds to get the world record too. So all we need is a little bit of green. Indeed, I am Cinnamon. I'm doing all 3 games in the trilogy, back to back to back. There we go. We were able to work around that weird RNG there. All right, sounds good, Robster. Sounds good to me. That's true. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll be able to see notification every time I go live as well. Just in case Twitch has a problem. But regardless, how are you doing today, Dolly? And life's pretty good, Andrew. Definitely feeling pretty good. A little bit tired. Definitely a little bit tired this morning, but overall feeling pretty good in general. How are you doing, by the way? Oh, I see. You're doing good. Disregard. I finally caught up. That's awesome, though, Omar. That is definitely an awesome achievement. World Cup for dance games, for In the Groove in particular, Robster. Garlic cheesy loaf shall be ready. That sounds good to me. There's always room for garlic bread, especially if it's got cheese on it. Especially if it's got cheese on it. That's like my weakness. I feel like it's a common weakness, though. I feel like a lot of people are weak to the temptation of garlic bread, and I don't blame anybody for being weak to that. And yo, thanks Cinnamon for the host, man. I appreciate it. All right, that's pretty cool. Especially when it's homemade. Oh yeah. Most of the time, the garlic bread that I have usually comes from a freezer first. But fresh garlic bread is amazing. Yo, sounds good to me, Guardian. I look forward to it. Do I have a YouTube? I do. If you go down to the bottom of my Twitch page, I actually have a link to my YouTube. Just click on the banner that says YouTube, and you'll be taken to my YouTube. It works the same for my Discord and Twitter panels as well. If you just click on the banner, that has a link to be taken to all of them. Wow, that was really close. But that's awesome. I can actually just go into hanging out now and get that out of the way so I don't have to worry about it later. Ever had a cheeseburger pizza? I have. It's been a little while, but cheeseburger pizza is actually pretty good. Totally not using my stream as a timer. Hey, that's what the timer is there for. Hey, if you can put it to good use in your own way, that's pretty cool too. Any fresh bread is really good, though. Magatop does bring up a good point. And that's cool, though. Fresh bread is definitely a nice treat. No, I'm not doing 100% for the Insane Trilogy just yet, Cinnamon. I'd like to try like Crash 2 102 at some point and figure out maybe try some of the other 100% categories, but right now I'm definitely enjoying any percent. Oh, show. What's going on, Sangunes? Yes, you can. You can spin the logs. You can spin the logs in these levels, and you can also spin away the shrink rays in the piston levels, which I did not realize until much later on in life, and really wish I would have known that when I was 12. That would have saved me a lot of grief going through this game 100% originally. Yo, Mighty Myth, how's it going? Yo, you're the real precious and adorable one, though. I actually have a regular PS4 Cinnamon. I got a refurbished unit not too long ago, and got a pretty nice deal on it. So right now I actually have a regular PS4. Yeah, it is a lot of work, and it's a lot of cleanup work too. White Mage. I can definitely see how that puts people off. Does pineapple belong on pizza? So here's the thing. I don't have a problem with pineapple being a pizza option. I probably will not put it on my pizza. And I don't mind. And I personally don't mind having a Hawaiian pizza on a thin crust. But aside from those things, not a huge fan of pineapple on pizza. Jordan is, though. Jordan is your guy if you are a pineapple on pizza fan. You've got a bro right here. You can actually buy pizza with chocolate in Denmark. Oh, I see. I thought you meant buy pizza with chocolate, like you could trade chocolate for pizza, and that would have been pretty cool. But yeah, dessert pizzas are in fact a thing, and they are delicious. They are very delicious things, as a matter of fact. They have indeed cinnamon. But like I said, I got mine refurbished, so it's technically a secondhand PS4, but it works brilliantly, and I'm definitely very happy with it. Yo, Biggie Cheese, what's happening, man? The run's going pretty well. We're still in the green. We're still in the green. Still in the green, taking it one level at a time. And yeah, it's definitely been a far from perfect run, but that's okay. You're really not going to get the perfect run. So this has definitely been a good run so far. Nevertheless, how are you doing, by the way? Almost had to stop watching the stream. I judge streamers based on their pineapple on pizza taste. Seems legit. I wouldn't blame you for leaving forever. No! Rip. That's okay, though. That's pretty cool, though, White Mage. I'm glad that he was kind of your mentor with cooking, especially if you can make it fun. Because that's one thing that about cooking, like there are some times where I find it fun to cook, but there are other times where I feel like it's just such a chore. And like if cooking is a chore to me, I really don't want to do it. But if cooking is fun, then I don't mind it. It's actually pretty cool. So like it kind of has to be like presented a certain way for me to personally be very into it. Or if I'm cooking with somebody else. Like cooking with somebody else, definitely I prefer to cooking alone. But yeah, you can definitely buy dessert pizzas. They are very real things, as a matter of fact. Because you're from the town that invented Hawaiian pizza. See you later. Fun fact. Fun fact. That's cool. What kind of food would you want to make, White Mage? That's not good, Cinnamon. I hope somehow that was some fake news. We actually haven't really had any thunderstorms here lately. Do I do Cold Hard? No, I do Digging It. Yeah, I do Digging It first. We haven't really had that many thunderstorms here. It's been actually very sunny. For me, I already had like a pre-existing fear of bees because I got stung a couple of times when I was a kid. But I used to be afraid of these levels when I first played through the game, and thankfully I did not have to deal with the insane Trilogy bees that move way faster than the OG ones. Do. The wasps in Donkey Kong? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Being immune to wasp stings is really cool, though. Like, that is definitely really, really nice. I'll remember to call you if we ever do have a wasp problem to come save us from the infestation. I'd rather not go into that topic any further, Cinnamon. I'm glad she was able to rescue some of them, though. But I'd rather not go into that any further. That's a bit sad, honestly. Bunch of farmers markets and a good butcher shop. That's awesome. Like, you can definitely. It sounds like you kind of got the hookup when it comes to ingredients, White Mage, which is very cool. Not everybody does in the restaurant business, and ingredients can sometimes make a huge difference. Yo, Generic, how's it going today? What about pizza on pineapple? That's fine. I would use a pineapple as a plate for a pizza. Oh, that sucks. That definitely sucks. Has a run ever been messed up by accidentally going into a bonus? I've done that before in the OG trilogy. It's harder, I think, to do accidental bonuses in the Insane trilogy for some reason. But in the original trilogy, sometimes I would go back to any percent categories and I would accidentally enter a bonus sometimes. It's not usually a huge deal, unless you like just complete the bonus and then realize what happened. But for the most part, like if you accidentally fall into a bonus and then you just die and respawn, it's not a big deal. Sunday lazy day. There you go, man. I'm glad you're having a lazy Sunday and doing it properly. As a simple comfort food cafe type thing, that seems like a fun restaurant to run. You know, that seems like a fun like type of crowd that you want to have around. Dude, I hope to visit that said hole in the wall one day. I certainly hope so. Seems like everyone's being lazy for this Sunday. Hey, they don't call it a lazy Sunday for nothing, man. For sure. Chronic what Coals of Narnia? I'm actually finding myself asking the same question. What? Sleepy can sometimes be a thing too, especially if you've had a long night. Like for me, I'm feeling a little bit tired, but overall I feel good. Like I don't feel like my body is like terribly unhappy to be awake, you know? That might be a little bit excessive with the curb stomping Muma, but that's pretty clever with the Coke can. I believe, as the cool kids say, got him. Slept a bit too much. Oh, I've done that before too. I've definitely had those days where I have not. I've definitely had those days before. Yo, Storm, what's going on, man? How you doing? Okay, so I went to the back corner and So I went to the back corner and actually still ended up grabbing the gem. But this is nice though. Like it's really nice to have. It's really nice to get third mass form. It makes the death route so much easier to get through. If I can keep 2 masks coming out of engine too, then we're in really good shape. For the piston levels. If that wasp was on a mission, Muma, I don't blame you. That wasp was determined to mess with you. I don't blame you guys for suddenly shifting priorities. Like, I definitely don't like to mess around with wasps. Like, wasps, yellow jackets, and stuff. Like, those guys are real assholes, to be quite honest. Alright, sounds good, White Mage. Oh yeah, we don't enter bosses that way. We enter bosses this way. There we go. Video games. What can I say except video games? Cool. Alright. So yeah, hopefully this boss battle goes fairly smoothly. As smoothly as Crash 2 Insane Trilogy engine can go. It is a little bit awkward. I definitely don't like it as much as the original Crash 2 engine fight, but we've been getting better at it over time. Oh no, I don't actually have a wasp problem. See you later. I was just joking. Like if I needed some wasp removal, I was gonna call you since you're immune. Yo, what's going on, Fairy? Yo, it sounds like a good plan to me, man. Hope you've been enjoying the lurking so far, and hope you're doing well and having a very lazy Sunday. Yeah, I could call you too. I could call you and your buddies, and you guys can trick the wasp one by one into Coke cans and then curb stomp them. I'll definitely give you guys a call if I need some help with wasps. There is Wasp Killer, but I don't think it kills them very quickly. I think like Wasp and Hornet Killer tends to like make them angry first. So you might still get stung by a few of them. And yo, that's good to hear. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm a little bit tired today, but overall I'm in good spirits. Definitely had a good day yesterday. Dude, I was so close. If I had gotten double shoulders... If I had somehow gotten double shoulders, that would have been sick. Okay, so I got 3 hits, so that's basically the bare minimum I need. Okay, not very good RNG, which is fine. There we go. Not a big deal. Just saw ESA schedule and there's FF8. Oh, that's pretty cool. Are there any other Final Fantasies, or is it just FF8 so far? And no worries, Generic. Feel free to lurk or chat as much as you like. And thank you for the good luck. I do appreciate it. I remember when I was a kid, I didn't know what a Hornet was. And there was a time in my room where I think I had the window open and there was like a hole in the screen. Because all of a sudden there was a Hornet that was in my room. And I don't remember how it got in there, but I thought it was a dragonfly. Or that was like another big bug. I'm like, hey mom, take a look at this. And I showed her the Hornet, and then she just like pushes me out of the room. like that's not a dragonfly. This one will hurt you. And then she calls my dad. My dad goes in with a rolled up newspaper and some wasp killer and kills it. And I then found out afterwards that it was a Hornet. And at the time I was really confused, and I was super glad that my mom actually stepped in there, because if I had gotten stung, I would have been in real bad shape. Yo, what's going on, Naynad? Thank you for the bit, by the way, Crash. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it, and thank you for the compliment. What's going on, Joship Girl, as well? Chrome is not responding for the 3rd time today? That's weird. That is definitely weird, Virtual. Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again? But yeah, you can definitely see the power of 3rd mass form on Piston It Away. You basically just ignore everything, and it's great. Okay, that works. Not gonna make that gap. If only 3D jumps were a thing. Life would be so much easier. There we go. Yeah, Chrome has been known to not manage memory very well, Fanstay. Both my and my girlfriend's machines are pretty high in memory, so we usually don't have that problem. But for lower power machines, I can definitely understand how Chrome can sometimes get in the way. Pokemon XY, Rayman, Wind Waker HD Race, World of Final Fantasy, Rayman 2, Sunshine, Galaxy 120 Star. Those are some pretty awesome categories right there. But yeah, I heard, I ended up popping into the San Andreas run a little bit, and it looked like he was having trouble, but they were handling it well. Like, I think they were handling it pretty well. There we go. Oh, yes, Magatoth. Yeah, the time trial would be pretty much free with third mass form. Especially like that, where you can just chain it basically through the entire level. Yeah, I think Saboom is there, as a matter of fact. Oh, geez. Yeah, there go the mass. But, I think Saboom is there, and he's doing Ape Escape, Hundo, Crash 3, and Spyro 2 14 tally? Oh, geez. I think those are the runs that he's doing, but I'm not entirely sure. Ah, there we go. I kind of screwed up there. This guy had it out for me. Oh. Hey, what's up?
Hi, I'm just saying hi.
Thank you. Wait, I got a good run. Sorry, I do need to pay attention to this. It's okay. Bye-bye. Yeah, although he hasn't been streaming as much lately, he's definitely, I think when he has streamed, he's been doing definitely some practice definitely doing a lot of practice for ESA. Like, he's been doing basically those categories. And there we go. Okay, so unfortunately we got kind of stuck in the middle there, which might offset some of the, like some of the time save we got in Piston, but that's okay. She doesn't get to come in while I'm streaming very often because most of the time I'm streaming while she's at work. But honestly, I found a Spaced Out Relic harder than Piston Virtual Boomerang. That was probably the one that I had the most trouble with. Posted your lovely loaf in Discord. Dude, I can't wait to check it out later and see what it looks like. I don't know. Maybe they just never stop falling. See you later, and maybe they're still alive in that case. It's a pretty screwed up life after that. But you know, maybe they're not actually dead. Think emoji. Do 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 do. That's what the stream does. That's what the stream does, Crash, is it makes people hungry. We always talk about, like, food, usually pizza, but, like, some type of other food discussion. Like, this is basically what we do here. Actually, that's true. The scientists are actually not supposed to be real people, aren't they? For that matter. I can call you Sanford? Okay, that works for me. I'm probably going to call you the wrong name at first a couple of times, but I'll definitely do my best to remember Sanford. Yeah, that's why this game is rated E for everyone. It's because they're robots. If they were actual humans, this would definitely be a rated M game. At least rated teen, for that matter. The music is really nice. Fan stay. Faux show. Have to agree with you. Except the one landing on the nitro. Yeah, you can't really explain your way around that one, can you, Ben? Are those all the shows you're currently watching, Cinnamon? Or are there some others as well? Oh, is it really E10 plus? Hang on. I didn't actually check to see what the rating was. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was E10 plus nowadays. There's 2 FF8 runs? Wait, what's the difference? Just had some great food, nuggets and chips. Dude, nuggets and chips, you can't go wrong with that. In all honesty. What's up, Sierra Bottas? How are you doing? Good evening to you as well. How are you? Gotta invert the controls real quick. Somehow Twin Sanity only gets an E rating. That's actually pretty. I thought Twin Sanity was rated teen, or at least E10 plus. One's with PSN disc. So are they like one's PC and then one is PlayStation, or what's the deal with that? No way in hell a kid can play this game and have fun. Honestly, I think they would have a good time. I probably would have really enjoyed this if I was a kid and it came out like this. But I can see how like it might be a bit frustrating for a kid, especially with the added difficulty of the game. Found a copy of SpongeBob SquarePants movie game that was rated T. Was it that particular copy, or is it just the movie itself that's... Or I'm sorry, this is the game itself that's rated teen. Can you get third mass form on jetpack levels? Nope. You cannot. It doesn't do anything. Yo, Gimmick, thanks for the good luck, man. How you doing? Absolutely, Con. That's one of the reasons why I started speedrunning Crash Bandicoot games above, like, a different type of game. Because that nostalgia was really powerful. And it turned out to be really awesome. Because Crash Bandicoot games are really fun speed games. I love to play them because... partially because of said nostalgia. And everybody's happy. You know, it all kind of works out. If people miss from the first stream, that's actually interesting that they would do that, and pretty cool. You know, I definitely could not see like that happening at a GDQ, for example. But if FF8 was like a really popular run and everybody wanted to watch it, I could see them doing another one later. Oh, is my hair upsetting you?
Yeah. It wasn't upsetting me, but I know you would like it.
It was bothering you.
It would bother me.
It's a team effort here, guys. I would not be able to do that with just my own 2 hands. If you could speedrun a game, it would be Spyro or Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk is pretty cool. Like the Tony Hawk speedruns are like surprisingly deep. Like I thought that Tony Hawk speedruns didn't really have a whole lot to them at first, but there's a lot that goes on in a Tony Hawk run. And Spyro also is definitely a solid game as well. A lot of overlap between Crash and Spyro in particular. She's in one of the other rooms in the house, and that's part of the reason why she's able to go in and out so quickly. The old Tom and Jerry would get a higher age rating. It would probably be like E10 or something. I don't think it would be that much higher. There was a lot of Mega Mega Man at the last DreamHack. So there was a European DreamHack where there were speedruns, right? Because I think I remember seeing, I think it was Seven Sins on Twitter at DreamHack Amsterdam that they had like a lot of like speedrunning like stream stuff going on. So I think Chrism did SM64 as well, if I remember correctly. It would be speed eating. Yeah, there you go. Speed eating that bread you just made. Honestly interested in Rugrats speedruns? Well, I do own a copy of Rugrats Search for Reptar, which is a bad game but a great game at the same time. I would definitely love to have an excuse to play that on stream for you guys one day. So who knows? Penta Penguin probably would not be as broken as he was in the PAL version of CTR, but that would be really cool if he was. And yo, Mr. Tomo, what's up, dude? How's it going? Yeah, unfortunately that's spaced out kind of cost us some of our advantage. But that's all good. It's the best bad game, exactly. Who said you need a reason? I like that attitude, Muma. I gotta say, I do like that attitude. I don't remember which game that was, but I do remember that you were able to do that, Storm. Who remembers Officer Dick too? From the OG Tony Hawk games. Ever played Altered Beast? I have not. I have not got Sonic. I'm sorry about that, Mr. Tomo. I ended up away from the house all day yesterday, so I was not able to respond. After today's stream, though, I'll definitely hook you up. What's up, Derpala Dupe? How are you doing today? Thought of an idea for a godlike Mario Maker level? Hit me with it. What do you got? Yo, ain't nothing wrong with crackers, Magatoth. I hope that it actually did not involve meth. What? Just relax, okay? We'll work on it. My hair's probably just gotten too long, so it's not going to do what you want it to do. Got to stay styling, guys. What can I say? Just remember you can play a Spider-Man. Oh yeah, you could play a Spider-Man in Tony Hawk 2, I think, and he had his own like custom video that was really cool. I do remember that. Found an interesting thing with a game you got yesterday. What about it? No, I think she just really wants to like not have my hair look like crap. I think that's basically what it is. She does like to embarrass me, but not on this occasion. See, he didn't see that coming, Storm. He didn't see Coco coming, and that was his downfall. Remember, Coco beat Engine after all, and there's no guarantee that Crash could have done it on his own. It is really cool, Quintus. What are you doing?
Just adding a little more.
Yo, what's going on, Evolves? How are you doing today? Did some runs of Crash Warped and Crash to any % for Insane Trilogy. How did they go?
The fuck? Sorry.
That was a very bad time to say that.
No, sorry.
Yeah, you could be a Django Fett. I don't remember Eddie too much, but I do remember Django Fett, and that was really cool. That was definitely very good at the time that they had those character licenses. In America, Galgun Double Piece had copies labeled as E, not AM. I've never heard of that game, but that's pretty bad if they labeled an M game E by accident. I could definitely see some very upset parents. I know, right, Sate?
I don't think it's gonna fall.
Just let it go. It's all good. It's all good, really. Perhaps one day, Jacko. We'll see. Yeah. Wow, that was really close. Got an idea for a turn-based combat themed level? That would be kind of neat if you could, like... I think that's an angle that hasn't really been explored that much. I think that's an angle that hasn't really been explored that much in Mario Maker. I know escape rooms are now a thing. I know escape rooms are now a thing in Mario Maker. I saw a Pooh Bear doing some escape room levels that looked really cool. What does the M and E rating mean? E is for everyone, so basically it's like a family-friendly game, and then M is for mature, and that's 17 plus. So definitely a big difference to label a game E versus M. Warp 3 and Crash Warp destroyed the run completely. Ouch. Dude, that happens sometimes. That definitely does happen sometimes. I have no idea what you're saying, Robster. I have no idea what you're on about. But that's good though. I'm glad at least Crash 2 went well, and definitely not every definitely not every run is going to go super smoothly, but that's okay. You know, there's definitely a lot of time to save time, so to speak. Patience is a virtue. As well as Mike Vallely. I do remember being a fan of Mike Vallely back in the day. I think Rodney Mullen was my favorite skater back then, though. Like, I loved his freestyle skating. Like, I thought that was just really unique and awesome. I think he was definitely my guy back then. Am I on track? Yeah. On track to have a good time, some good vibes. And get a world record, of course. Like I said, all we need to do is beat my run by 9 seconds. That's all it'll take. Hopefully you get a PS TV in the future. That would be that'd be very helpful for Crash 2 speedruns in particular. The PS TV is pretty cool in general. There's a lot of neat games on there. And if you like the PS Vita, I think it's more comfortable to play on a PS4 controller on a big TV than with the handheld itself. Speedrun what exactly, White Mage? I think I missed it. Oh, the Printy games? No, I've never actually heard of them, as a matter of fact. Dude, hopefully you can fall asleep soon, though, Robster. I think you have to do it in, I think you have to do /me, Biggie Cheese. If you type /me and then type your message, I think that's what ends up making it how Mr. Tomo does, where he wanders in and gives everybody cookies. I think it's /me and then you put the text. Is it actually faster to spin at underwater levels in the Insane Trilogy? It is. Actually, your speed is pretty close to your normal movement is actually pretty close to having the vehicle, Magatov. Yes, there is. If you search full trilogy under the Crash Insane Trilogy directory, you'll be able to see the full trilogy leaderboard. Full trilogy any %. Just remote play with a Vita? I guess if you don't already have a Vita, PS TV is probably a better way to go. I don't know the going price for PS Vitas nowadays, but I think the PS TV is like $50 on Amazon, and that's pretty reasonable price considering what you get. There you go. There's all the /me's coming in. It is Mr. Tomo, Pez. Do you know who currently holds the record for any percent? For this game, Diamond Air does. Diamond Air has the world record for Crash 3. Crash 2, I believe, is Stewart, and Crash 1 is Death Cow. For the full trilogy, it's Crash Pro 33, who currently has the world record at the 3:30:09. The Vita is cool. I think one of the reasons why the Vita did not do so well as the PSP, I think, is because like the PSP came out at a time before smartphones were a thing. And now that smartphones are a thing, like some of the technology in the Vita, like it's pretty cool, but it doesn't really set itself apart, you know, to the general public like the PSP did, where you had, you know, UMD media and you had, you know, kind of some, and it was very intelligent compared to some of the other like mobile devices you could have. Now like mobile devices are so advanced that something like the Vita doesn't really set itself apart like the 3DS does. What's going on, Ramarias? What do I think of Stormy Ascent? It's a cool level. Very, very difficult. Absolutely lives up to its reputation, but it is cool. She does not, Robster. We're like pretty straight up about like what we call each other. We don't really have any like crazy pet names or anything. It might be a matter of time before that comes up, but currently we do not. But yeah, Stormy Ascent definitely does live up to the reputation. And how you doing, by the way, Ramarias? There you go. Isabella hooking you up, Pez. Yeah, definitely. I definitely think that the Vita could have been a better thing than it was, but it just didn't quite, you know, didn't quite add up, so to speak. Yo, nice Guardian, are you on your way back home? And yo, what's going on, Liam? How you doing? That's pretty cool, Stepkey. I didn't realize that I was your first speedrunning stream outside of GDQ. That's really awesome, and welcome. Great as a bag of potatoes. I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's a good thing though. I'm probably not gonna get a statue for the world record. Though it would be an interesting idea for a trophy. Probably not gonna go for that. August 12th until the 22nd. What's going on during that time, Gimmick? They do, Dan. They really do. Potatoes serve a purpose, and they are to become French fries. Or garlic mashed potatoes. Or tater tots. Those are also solid alternatives. And how's it going, by the way, Dan? There we go. Bam. Nailed it. Cheese. There's some cheese. White Mage has got you hooked up, Crash. And that boss fight, too. But the nice thing about the cheese emote here is that it's very stinky. That's how you know it's good. Yeah, Persona 4 definitely is a banger, from what I've heard. Gravity Rush was also a good thing. I haven't heard of the other two, Soul Sacrifice or Muramasa. Yo, thanks, Stepkey. I really do. I'm really glad you're having such a good time here. Like, I do appreciate it. Your birthday in less than 3 weeks away? Nice, Mr. Tomo. How many years young are you turning, if you don't mind me asking? bum bum. Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. Ba da ba da ba da da da. Okay, cool. That car is pretty hard to dodge. It's like a miracle if I get through here and I'm able to hold boost the entire way through. Oh, I see, Guardian. I couldn't remember if you were already home or if you were out and then on your way back home. But I did remember that you were going somewhere. Yeah, who cut the cheese? Exactly. I will be higher than 22, but less than 26. Fair enough. Fair enough in that case. What's going on, Ripper? How you doing? Unfortunately, I did not. I had to tap out after an hour and a half of Platinum Relic attempts. But I did get the Gold Relic, which was pretty cool. And I'm definitely content with that for the time being. I do not wish you to buy said statue, Robster. We've been over this. We've been over this. We do, actually. We do when our furniture gets here. Which game is it, Gimmick? That's the Dead or Alive one, right? That's fair, Magatoth. I can totally understand that. I do like potato chips, Romarios, especially kettle-cooked chips with sea salt. I'm a very simple guy when it comes to chips. Just give me some nice kettle-cooked, salted well, and that's all I need, really. Do 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 da 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 da. Oh, I see, Guardian. I got you now. That's definitely pretty hard. I totally understand. I totally understand how that can be pretty hard. I have some friends growing up who had their parents divorce, and it's definitely weird to. It's definitely kind of a awkward experience, especially if you've known them to be together at one point. But I hope everything's going well regardless, and that there's not much bad blood between them. A SpongeBob sticker. Dude, I'd allow it. I really got to set up a PO box. In case you guys want to send me stuff, like SpongeBob stickers, for example. Extreme 3? Okay. Yeah, I remember your earlier message where you mentioned that. Like right after I asked the question. So it was a good time. I have indeed, Robster. It's been good. Cheeseburger pizzas are pretty decent. I don't think I like them better than just a straight up pepperoni pizza, but they are decent indeed. Yo, Standout, what's happening, man? I need to like take a picture next time. I need to take a picture next time. And invite him out here. I don't know though. We'll see. Yo, Trigger, what's happening? The run's going pretty alright, for sure. Did not have the world's greatest Crash 1. Kind of held my own in Crash 2. And now we're in Crash 3 trying to bring it home. All I need to do is beat my current run by 9 seconds, and then we get the record. What's next after record? I'd probably want to improve the record some. Like, I think I would want to improve the record down to, like... I'd still want to keep working on any % categories and keep trying to bring the record down. But I may end up wanting to do, I might try Crash 2 102%, and see how that goes. Whoops. That's okay though. We can do tomb time. It's not a big deal. There we go. There we go. But yeah, how's it going, by the way, Trigger? Who is Ma Weil? Who's Ma Weil, by the way? I'm not sure I know what that is. No, I totally understand. Like, it definitely does get kind of messy when it comes to custody. But yeah, I think it'll all work out for you. And at the end of the day, you know, with whatever you choose, you know, your family has a way of making it all work out at the end of the day. Yes, already, like, usually you want to get as many boxes that are in your way as possible, step key. You don't want to go too far out of your way because the time save is not super huge. It would take a lot of boxes falling on your head to make a significant difference with gaining or losing time in the Crash 1. But at the same time, I think that like, it's definitely a good idea to get all the boxes. It's definitely a good idea to get all the boxes you can, but you don't want to go out of your way for them because then it doesn't really save you much. Nope. I'm very glad I did not go for that. You don't want to steal from her? Oh, fair enough. That's all the caution I need, but that's okay. You're very generous with the cookies, Mr. Tomo, so there's definitely no reason to steal more. No reason to get greedy here. Do 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 do. Bum 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 dum bum bum. I did not, but I'm gonna go take a look at it. Oh, geez. She looks very unassuming, but definitely gotta watch out. That is a big mouth on the back of her head. Crash 1 has 103. It actually has 104, Romerias. I think the gem gives you 2% at this point. I just got so confused with what level I needed to enter. But yeah, the relic doesn't actually add any extra percentage. It's just the gem. Excuse me. The doors do not close gently. The doors always slam in this game. The doors seem like they're being controlled by somebody with a lot of angst, so to speak. Are there any major glitches or skips? There's a pretty big skip in Crash 1. You go out of your way for the green gem in the Lost City to basically skip castle machinery almost entirely. And that is definitely one of the big things about Crash 1. For the most part, these runs don't have too many like major skips where like you're just kind of skipping half the game. But there are some like little skips here and there, some little cycle skips and things like that. But that's probably the biggest thing is being able to skip castle machinery by getting the green gem in the Lost City. What are some major skips or glitches that save me a lot of... Oh, I'm sorry. I just totally read that off already. I'm sorry, guys. I'm definitely feeling a little bit out of it today, but we're doing our best. Oh, I could have gone. Okay. I didn't want to go because I didn't have a mask and did not feel super comfortable with trying to go for it. Whoa. Okay. There we go. Okay, we recovered. What am I going to do to celebrate? I'm going to throw a party. A party for just me. Just me. No, that's okay. I mean, it's definitely cool, you know, to get the record back, but I definitely not going to go YOLOing at Fogo de Chao or anything. I wish I could, though. That would be sick. And yo, Twinker Frisky, how's it going? Yo, that's a given, Pez. That's definitely a given. Right. They'll take me to Dick's for a burger? Dude, that sounds good. I'm always down for Dick's Drive-In. Always down. Pizza party? No, what? The camera tilted me around so fast that I ended up getting burned. That's crazy. Dude, hell yeah. We'll make it a party at Dick's. Yo, Wingo, how's it going? This run goes pretty well, I must say. We're in the green. What the heck? Get hit. There we go. He was being a little frisky there, that Dingo Dial. Sounds like Michael Rosen. I actually don't know who Michael Rosen is. Fun fact. This is the day where this is a time where you can see how very uncultured I am in pop culture. Yeah, unfortunately, a couple of things went wrong in Warp 2, but that's fine. We basically just have to hold steady. That's the main thing. Can you cheese this boss? I just did, as a matter of fact. Glitch high jump over the icicles, spin him in the center. His hitbox is a little bit wonky. Like sometimes you gotta work your way around Dingo Dial before he can actually get hit. But you can actually cheese this boss, absolutely. And it's that easy. Well. It's fun to cut them off mid-sentence because they only ever get to say one word. And it sounds really silly out of context. Do 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 do. It does. Ordinarily, you have to wait for him to throw a bunch of flames in the air, and then then he has to do his flamethrower thing, where he basically has to destroy the icicles first, and then you can run and hit him. That boss fight's pretty tricky if you do it the intended way, but if you cheese it, no problem. Oh, come on. Went in the rough a little bit there. You glitch high jump, Hero. You basically glitch high jump over the icicles, and then you land in the center, which then allows you to hit Dingo Dial right away, because his hitbox is open. His hitbox is open pretty much all the time. Like, he's not invincible unless it's, like, directly after you've gotten a hit on him. So basically, you just glitch high jump, go to the center, spin him, glitch high jump back out so he doesn't kill you when he explodes, and do it all over again. Honestly, I don't find the vehicle controls that bad, Wingo. I personally really like the vehicle controls, and I really like the vehicle controls of the motorbike in particular. The jet ski controls are not very good for like 100% or for some of the secret levels, but they're not bad for any percent either. Definitely gotten used to them. And yo, 187, what's going on, man? And Corpsey, how are you doing? Definitely doing my best to keep it up, for sure. What if Crash is Mad Max, Twinker Frisky? What if it was all a hoax with Mel Gibson? Alright, sounds good, Joshua Girl. Take it easy, and thank you for the good luck. I do appreciate it. What's up, Palutina? How are you doing today as well, by the way? Road Crash is hard. Like, Road Crash is definitely hard in Insane Trilogy. It's hard in OG Trilogy too, but I've definitely had more problems with Road Crash here than in the other game. Yeah, there you go, Biggie Cheese. It's tough. Like, it's definitely very unintuitive where you have to, like, charge up your steering and then you get a lot of steering when you're in a wheelie, for example. It is kind of weird. I think now we do Deep Trouble, Double Header, High Time, and then Dynamite. That's going to be the route. It makes more sense the way they control in the original trilogy because you have a static turn. Like, even though your turning can't go quite as sharp as the Insane Trilogy does when it's charged up, that it's more predictable. And I can definitely see why you would like it more. But the jet ski, I do prefer the tighter controls in the OG trilogy, for sure. The controls are a little too loose, I think, overall. But for any percent runs, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. All right, so I thought I could beat the cycle there. Unfortunately, I did not. Unfortunately, I just didn't. Yo, nice, Corpsey. I wish you the best of luck with that tournament, and I hope you guys are feeling prepared, by the way. Yo, Mito Chelsea, how are you doing today? I gotta say, life is good. Feeling a little bit out of it today, but I'm definitely in good spirits regardless. You ate the entire loaf? Well, at least it was good, White Mage. That's a good sign that it came out well. I probably would have done the same thing, honestly. If it was that good, of course. But yeah, honestly, you can get used to it. Like after all the hours that I put in, like I definitely started to feel comfortable with the vehicle levels. I definitely started to feel very comfortable with the vehicle levels over time. Do I like the underwater levels? They're all right. I find them kind of tedious, step key, but I don't think they're bad or anything. I don't think they're bad levels. I'm just not, like, I don't really care for them as much as some of the other levels in the game. It's a nice change of pace. That's pretty awesome, Corpsey. I definitely hope that that comes through for you guys. And yo, Tomsy, what's going on, man? How's it going today? I don't know which level to go in. There we go. How are loading times accounted for in the final time? Basically, the loads are timed in between basically game actions, and then they're basically subtracted out after the run is over. So RTA run that's on the timer minus loads equals your loadless time. And the good news is for regular PS4 users, there's a spreadsheet that has a really awesome data bank of load times, both for each level individually, like say if you have to re-enter a level, and for the full game. And that's been a really awesome resource to help calculate how much time loads takes up and how much to subtract from your run. It does help a lot. What I need to do... what's going on, John Scala, by the way? No, I don't need 100% completion to get the world record because this is any percent category. So I just need to beat the games as fast as possible. Does not matter how many gems or relics or any additional items that I get. That's awesome, Topsy. I'm glad that you're feeling pretty good today. Is this a full Insane Trilogy run? This is the full Trilogy package. Send me a whisper trigger and I can hook you up with the spreadsheet. I don't know, Robster. Depends on if you submitted that run. Your daily meal is now in your tummy and you're happy. Dude, I would be pretty happy too if I got to eat a loaf like that. It sounded great, to be honest. Wrath of Cortex water levels actually catch a lot of flack. Like, a lot of people don't like them. But honestly, I find Wrath of Cortex to be better than most people think. I think that it's a fun game. It's definitely not as high quality, but as the original Crash Bandicoot games, but it is a fun experience, and there is a lot of variety with vehicles. What's going on, Raz Kurt, by the way? How are you doing? I think the controls are a bit twitchy for the waterboard in Crash 2. So it's a bit harder to be precise, I think, with your movement, but you can do a lot more with it. And then... As far as the Crash 3 jet ski goes, like again, I think the controls are too loose, but they're not awful for any percent. It's just really hard for the secret levels, and when you're trying to go off ramps properly, it's really hard to line yourself up the proper way. That's awesome, Raz. I'm glad you're doing well. It seems like everybody's doing really well today. That's awesome. That is definitely good news. Life is good for me though. I'm a little bit out of it, but definitely life is good, and we're definitely running well enough. Well enough to be on record pace, that's for sure. Exactly, standout. Never have enough good vibes. When am I going to set up Stream Treat so you can send me a non-pineapple pizza? Well, I appreciate the distinction between non-pineapple pizza. Let me actually do this. All right, so I actually just made a note to set up Stream Treat, and a note to do something else that I forgot about. So later today, I'm hoping that I'll have enough time later today to be able to do everything, and we can actually have that set up for tomorrow. We'll see though. Don't quote me on it. And yo, Blitz, what's up, dude? I'm definitely trying to go, man. How are you doing? And thank you, Trigger. I'll definitely check that out after the stream. Ever been invited to charity events? No, as a matter of fact. I think the one time that I've done a like GDQ style run or done a marathon type thing is for John Con, which was a con back home, or back in my hometown rather. That was really fun. Like I got to do a speedrunning exhibition with my friend Stump, who was actually the reason why I was there at all. And that was like my first marathon type run, and that was awesome. I had a great time. If I get Stream Treat, will I eat it on stream? I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it. I could do IRL. I could do like an IRL or like social eating type stream for Stream Treat, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. I'll have to think about it. I guess it's better to have too many pizzas and be able to and have friends and acquaintances help eat the pizza than and donate that pizza to hungry friends than it would be to not have any pizza at all and really want it. Yes, they are, Corpsey. So I need to beat this time by at least 9 seconds to get the recce. Whoa, that was not good. We're on track to do so, but we're cutting it close. My Crash 2 and 3 runs were really good in this PB, as a matter of fact. Come on, Biggie Cheese. You gotta follow directions, man. I'm a little bit tired too, Blitz. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely feeling a little bit out of it today, but in good spirits regardless. I do think that the dino looks cuter, Hollock, in the original trilogy, but this guy's plucky. He definitely gets the job done. That would be cool, White Mage. I've never actually heard of that site, Standout. Could you send me a whisper, just to check it out? What's going on, Radiation King, by the way? I like it when you like it when I say Biggie Cheese. As long as we've got Biggie Cheese here, you're in luck, Radiation King. Yo, what's going on, Elite? How are you doing today? Do I play GTA? I've always been more of a casual GTA guy. I really like it. Like, GTA is a really fun series for me. But I have not played GTA lately. Do you play? And if so, how do you play it? Yo, White Paws, thanks for the good luck, dude. How are you doing? And what's up, Dark Liambo? Good to see you as well. How are you guys doing? You can, White Mage. That first jump is pretty easy to do. The second and third jumps are trickier, and I don't actually know how I'm supposed to do them. I've done the second jump properly once, but I don't remember like what I did to make it work. So I'm gonna need to check that out again. But yeah, the first jump is not that bad. Second, third tries are a little bit tricky, with the third one being the hardest by far. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. PB didn't crash one any yesterday. I think I saw you post on Twitter. I think you were like plus 24 in Cortex power, and then came back to PB, which is pretty cool. Life is good for me. I'm definitely feeling a little bit out of it, but overall feeling good in general. Yo, Yayo TV, what's going on? How are you doing? Are you probably going for a 40? That's actually a question I second. How far away are you from world record at this point, White Paws? Hey, rainbow splits have gold in them, Corpsey, so you're not wrong. You're all good. Yeah, that bomb, that bomb had it out for me. The hardest working bomb that Cortex controls. They do matter, Standout, absolutely. Less than half an hour to go, oh yeah. Definitely trying to keep it all together. I know what you mean, White Paws. There's definitely like a grind like before the GDQ, and then you do the GDQ run, and then afterwards you still do the same category. Like sometimes it can get a little monotonous. Yo, thanks, Yayo. I definitely hope so too. What are you thinking about doing next in that case, White Paws? What is the current world record? 3:30.09. My splits are a 3:30.17. So, it's that close. Just need to beat it by 9 seconds or better. I think you could do that. Definitely, I think you could probably 40 as well, White Paws. Whoa, that was really close. Oh, he actually got me. Dang. Crash Pro 33 Blitz. I had the record, then Rico took it, then I got it back, and then Crash Pro took it from me. So, that's basically like the changing of the guard when it comes to the record in this category. What's going on, Yo Mama's hip? How's it going? I almost said that like totally wrong for a second. How are you doing? Whoa, geez. What would be my worst case in speedrunning? What do you mean by worst case? I'm a little bit confused. Oh, it's all good, Elite. I totally understand. There's definitely no pressure, and it's not a requirement. Probably go for the 41-10 and then plan on learning banjo. That's pretty cool. I did not take you to be a banjo guy. But banjo is awesome. What category are you thinking about learning? He is currently Blitz. And yo, thanks, Corpsey. I appreciate it, man. That would definitely be really nice to break the sub 330 as well. Do I know most of the world record holders? For Crash games in general, I know most of them. I think I'm trying to think who holds a world record that I don't know. I don't know Pull. I don't know Pull. I've never actually interacted with him personally, but I know most of the other world record holders. Crash Bro's come in here a couple times as well. What's the worst thing that's happened in a speedrun? Probably basically forgetting a key item in a level. Like if you forget to, like missing boxes in 100% runs is pretty bad. And or like if you go the wrong way and you end up just like in a totally wrong place in the level and just waste time that way. Basically just like paying attention, you know, and making sure that you're going the right way, essentially. That's awesome, Yo Mama's hip. That is awesome to hear, man. Hundo for sure. I've never actually seen any percent runs of Banjo-Kazooie, now that I mentioned it. It always seems like Banjo runners are doing Hundo runs in particular, which is pretty interesting. And that's cool. I don't know, actually. I'm not sure about that, Crash SSBM. Yo, what's going on, Willie? William, excuse me. How are you doing today? I like the plane levels a lot better in the Insane Trilogy, Corpsey. The controls feel much tighter, and it's a lot easier to get through. Rings of Power is really hard. Choking the 40 in Crash 1 in Cortex. Oh, no. Dude, I basically choked the world record of this category in Cortex during my last run. Basically in Crash 1. My Crash 1 was not very good. And if it had gone just a little bit better, I would have broken the record at that point. But that's okay. It happens sometimes. Yo, Incognito, what's happening, man? Almost didn't see you there. How you doing, buddy? Well, we all know that that Crash Bandicoot was going to be called Willy the Wombat, and thank God he wasn't. That's so painful too, to be on 40 pace and then you get a 41 exactly. It's not like you lose it and then get like a 41.09 or something, but it's like it's the 41 exactly. It's literally as close as you can get. Period. I do Elite Trouble. I stream daily. Wednesdays and Saturdays are my days off, but I stream every other day during the week at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So 9 a.m. Pacific US time is when I start my stream every day. What's going on, Bulging Manhood? It might be on your end. It looks like everything's good for me in OBS. Like I haven't dropped any frames today. So it might be your data at that point. Oh, did you find it, Trigger? That's good. That's awesome. Willy the Wombat Insane Trilogy. Yo, Poonage, what's happening, man? How you doing? I did stream on a Saturday, but the reason why that happened this week was because my ISP had scheduled downtime and maintenance during the day on Friday, which was during my stream time. So and I did not have internet for basically the entire day, so I could not stream on Friday. Even if that's why I decided to stream on Saturday instead, basically to make up for it. But yeah, normally I do not stream on Saturdays. You are correct, White Mage. The viewer list on mobile, I still have not updated my mobile app. I'm sitting on like a pretty old revision of the app because I hear that the mobile app is like kind of broken right now. That's pretty cool, Super Spyro. Which gaming category are you thinking of running? And what's going on, Adine? How are you doing? Still better than Nigel the Needle Mouse. Ugh. Oh, that is gross. That is a gross name, God Sonic. It's painful to say. You cannot kill the blocking guys with the big shield in OG. Oh, you can. You have to slide them, though. What's going on, Games Reviews? There are a few runners that are still doing there are a few runners that are still doing some of the OG games. I think GT, for example, is still doing the OG games for speedruns. So I think I would like to go back to the original games as well at some point. That would be something I do want to do, because there's still some unfinished business that I have with some of the older games. But there definitely are some people that do the originals. White Paws does the originals, for example. Tep still does the originals. Rebag does the originals. There's still some runners that do. There's still some runners that do the original games. No, I totally understand Bulging Manhood. Hopefully you can get to a point with some better internet soon, though. What's going on, Fang269 as well? How are you doing? Yeah, one of these days I have to do some Crash 1 Hundo. That might be... That's definitely... Crash 1 Hundo and CTR Any Percent Warpless are two categories that I definitely want to do. Are definitely some categories that I want to do when I go back, or back in the original game area. Yo, what's up, I the Dashie? That's true. Vanny has definitely been holding it down with the original trilogy as well. What's up, Rich? I did not get the platinum. I got the gold relic, but sadly I could not get the platinum relic. I'm okay, honestly, with the having just the gold relic for now. I might go back and try to get the I might go back and try to get the platinum relic at some point, but I'm not really huge on having all platinum relics personally. Not really been a huge IL type guy, but I wanted to try it just for grins and see how hard it was. The sub 125 is definitely a decent time, I think, for Crash 1 Hundo. That category has also come a long way. That and 105 in particular have come a long way since I started speedrunning. Crash 2 has too, but it hasn't been as noticeable because the improvements have been so small. And that category was already like fairly optimized at the time. Yo, Kramer, what's going on, dude? How are you doing? Do I run Crash Bash at all? I used to. I haven't run it as much lately, but I have done Crash Bash runs in the past. Or when The Last of Us 2 comes out, I might get The Last of Us and do play it before Last of Us 2 comes out, but I'm probably not going to get it right now, Robster. And yo, Shadowstroke, thanks for the good luck, dude. How you doing? Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely just have to wait and see, Blitz. Yeah, the 107 is sick. Like, a sub 110 in Crash Hundo is awesome. That is definitely a sweet time. What's up, Hobbs on Fire and Spitfire? How are you guys doing? Got your plat turn on Stormy Ascent, and you think it's pretty forgiving. Interesting. I have a feeling that if I had a better idea of some of the higher level strats of like what to do for Stormy Ascent, or like what a good run looks like in that level and what cycles I can skip, I think that would help me out a lot, because I think one of the problems that I have with Stormy Ascent is the cycles, and because I feel like they just change a little bit like every time you play the level, and I don't know how to like make them consistent or go fast enough to where I can hit the same parts consistently. What's going on, Benjamin? How you doing today, bud? Currently, yes. Will it stay that way? I don't know. But I hope that it does. Today's a sad day. How come, Ben? And hopefully we can help you feel a little bit better in the meantime. Yeah, I'm not really too keen on 200% either. Like, I think I could do it, you know, but I don't think I would have as much fun doing that. You know, like I don't really think I would find it very enjoyable. Personally. It is cool though, and it's fun to watch other people do it too. Oh, that's pretty neat. Was not expecting to get a major gold split here. Is Purah flying the ship? Yes, Purah comes and helps Coco. As a matter of fact, once you go into the second phase of the engine fight. Yeah, Rebag's definitely got the chops for sure. Yeah, I don't think I had the patience at this point to do 2 hundo. Is my speedrun time on par with the PS1 runs, or is the Insane Trilogy different? Good question. The Insane Trilogy is a little bit slower. If you consider load times, the Insane Trilogy is slower than the original games, but it's not terribly far off if you take out the loads. But the Insane Trilogy games are a little bit slower across the board. Well, we'll see, Crazy. We'll see, Crazy. One level at a time. There's definitely a lot of things that can happen between here and the end of the run. Wow. Dude, that sucks. I remember you telling me about that story a little while ago, but dang, that's definitely rough, Ben. Lesson learned for next time. Gotta protect your property, man. Who can't love cats? How long does 200% take and how do you get it? Very long. Very long time, usually double-digit hours plus. And you get it by getting all collectible items in Crash Bash. It takes a very long time, especially if you've never done it before. Mostly because there's a good amount of RNG. The AI is pretty unforgiving as well in some of the later parts of the game where you have to get relics, for example. It's pretty tough. There's definitely an endurance category. I can't go into numbers about how many subs I have or how many subs I have or money, Kramer. That's too personal at this point. But yeah, it depends on your skill levels. You do need some luck, but if you're really good at the mini games, you can actually get around a lot of the quite frankly bullshit that happens during the run. But yeah, that's definitely very lame, Benjamin. Faux show. Hopefully next time there will be a way to to be able to protect yourself better. Every Crash Bandicoot speedrunner must complete a 200% Crash Bash run before the end of the year. That is to be an official Crash Bandicoot speedrunner, that's what you got to do. I'm probably not going to do Stormy Ascent today. I'm probably not going to do Stormy Ascent attempts today. I'm probably going to do some single game runs. I might do some single game Crash 1 because I feel like I'm in like a breakthrough period of skill in Crash 1 Insane Trilogy, because if my run goes really well in Crash 1 by itself, I could actually I could get like a 107 or maybe a 106 with loads, which is pretty awesome. What's going on, Mr. Dice? I did not have time to submit my run yesterday after I did it. So my time on speedrun.com still says 3 hour 34, but this is the time that I got yesterday. The 3:30:17, which is very close to Rec Heat. So I know it looks a little confusing on the speedrun leaderboard, but sometimes the runs don't get submitted exactly the day that they happen, or they don't get approved, in which case they will also not show on a leaderboard. Do you ever get stiff during these runs? Not really. This chair is really comfortable that I'm sitting in right now, and it doesn't really make me very stiff or sore. If I sit in it for, 7 or 8 hours, then, I might get uncomfortable and I might want to move around a little bit. But generally speaking, I usually take a break halfway through the stream anyway. and that's what allows me to kind of recharge and, you know, feel loose again, so to speak. I don't have an uptime command, but I've been live for 3 hours 20 minutes currently. William. I've been speedrunning this game a lot lately since the the Insane Trilogy came out. So I've been speedrunning this game basically daily. Basically, whenever I stream, I've been streaming speedruns of this game for the past 2 or 3 weeks or so. And it's been super fun. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Mr. Dice. If I do end up beating the record, then I'll just upload that run instead. Yeah, that definitely is very punishing. It's a punishing aspect of Crash 1 Blitz. But that's just the way it is, you know? That's just the way Hundo is, and that's what you sign up for. Yo, what's going on, Twin Lancer? How you doing? I do actually, Elite. If you scroll down to the bottom of my page, you'll find a link to my YouTube. If you just click the banner that says YouTube, you'll be taken directly to it. My Twitter and Discord panels work the same way. Best and worst thing about the new games? The best thing is the atmosphere. The way the games look and the way they feel, it's very close to the originals, and they really nailed the nostalgia aspect of Crash Bandicoot. The worst thing about the game, maybe the movement isn't quite as like deep as Crash 2 and 3 are, at least from a speedrunner's perspective. From a speedrunner's perspective, the movement doesn't go quite as deep, I would say. But that's not exactly true for Crash 3 because of the mock tornado spin technology. But even so, like, if that's the worst thing about the game, like, this is a good game. At that point. Yo, what's going on, Kirazami? And no worries, welcome. Does Crash also have the levitation ability? He doesn't really have a levitation ability. There's the tornado spin. But yes, the movesets are the same for Coco and Crash, except the body slams are a little bit different. Body slams are a little bit different, but otherwise they have pretty much the same mechanics. And in the OG trilogy, the power-ups are the same and you unlock them in the same order. So pretty much the same. And yo, what's going on, John Kramer and Wrecked Eel? How are you guys doing? Probably not while I'm streaming Wrecked Eel. If we happen to be playing a game together, then I don't mind. But but just like in general when I'm streaming or playing by myself, probably not. Do. Ba-da, 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 ba-da. And yo, thanks, Elite. I appreciate the support, man. I'm glad you like it here. Oh, no. Dude, I got bodied. It's okay, though. We're faster. Yo, Malls, what's happening, dude? Life is good, man. It is a good life we live here. How are you doing today? That's cool, John Kramer. Were you trying to go for 100%, or were you playing, or are you just trying to beat the game currently? That's the cool thing about speedrunning, though, Blitz, is like there's always some kind of room for improvement, you know. There's always something, you know, to grow and go faster and get better, which is really cool. Whoa. Oh, that was sketchy. Are speed boosts over gaps still possible? I tried it when the game first came out and failed miserably. So somebody may have been able to figure out how to do it better than I can. But at this point, I don't think it's possible. Yeah, there's definitely some games that you have as like your main games, and there's some games that you're, you know, you play for fun. Like you just kind of play, you don't play like take quite as seriously, you know, and that's totally fine. I definitely think you can only do so much at a time. Absolutely. Yo, Ramatron, what's going on, dude? I'm feeling a little bit out of it, but I'm having a good day, honestly. Spirits are good, runs good. Dude, definitely can't complain. The world record is 3:30:09 with load Spitfire, so I'm only 8 seconds behind the world record with my current time. I didn't realize that Crash 3, 52 was second place in 2013. I didn't realize, because I think when I first started running Crash 3, I was, I think the record at the time was a 46. I think that was when Saboom had a 46. And it's really cool when you think about the old school like Crash speedrunning days where you had like, you know, Mr. Bean, Sword of Seals, like when they were the top runners of Crash 2. And like Mr. Bean was like Mr. Crash 2 at that time as well. It was pretty cool. There's like a sequence break, I think, step key where you can fall through the spikes and basically just fall through the level selectively, but you don't die. You end up just falling on a platform below that you're supposed to go around for, which is kind of cool. And definitely is useful for a time trial. Cool. That was a very good Mad Bombers. The world record was a 44. Yeah, Whip had the world record with like a 44 back when I started as well. Oh, cool. What's it called, Ramatron? And yo, welcome back, Cam, by the way. Stone Knot had a 50. I mean, even so, you know. Nobody had sub 50'd at that point, which is pretty crazy. And what's going on, Carrie Seller? How are you doing? Or is it Carl Seller? I can't tell sometimes between an I or an L. But thank you regardless. And what's up, Sarah DeVille? Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Twitch and the stream. And that's awesome. Dude, I'm glad you're having a good time here. And I have to agree with the Crash love. It's definitely fun. It's fun and a good time. Poor angsty Cortex. Lads on Thought Patrol. That's not quite what I was expecting it to be. And yo, Ginger Gamer Guy, welcome back, by the way. It ain't over yet, guys. We still gotta beat this guy with a really big forehead. Oh. Wow, that was almost bad. That would have been sad. Yo, nice. That's pretty cool, Cam. I would definitely like to tune into that special once it does happen, though. That would be really fun. Pez is so charming. What can I say? Cool. Alright, once more with feeling. Big bags of ice hype. What's up, Fecky Mech? How are you doing today? I tend to do like a bit more safe strats than some runners do. I opt to do them more in full Trilogy runs as well because full Trilogy runs have greater stakes if something does go wrong, for example. Yeah, we did it. Yo, what's up, Guardian? Welcome back, dude. Maybe I should retire to a